this is the first podcast I've ever done. Nobody really knows this about me. I'm fixing to say some stuff like, and I was like, yeah, like career-ending statements. And I did not smile very much. I was so pissed off, and I was so angry.
Welcome to Rodeo Time, the podcast. We have a very special guest today, Mr. Cody Johnson. What's your middle name?
Daniel.
Daniel. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
And we've also got Jeremy Ray Melanson.
Did you hear how his voice changed when we started?
Oh, yeah.
We've been talking off camera, and it was soft, Dale. That was commanding.
Here we go.
Let
me try it again. Yeah, that's right. We're going to go down to shoot number 3. We've got Cody, Daniel Johnson, and he's getting on. What's the baddest bucker you ever got on? What's a memorable bucker you got on?
Dude, Mutt Newman over there in Dayton had a big old red bighorn bull that I think he wound up being they were taking him like CPRAs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But he was like the rankest thing I'd ever gotten on at the time. And I don't know what happened that night. I blacked out and I landed and they're like 82 points. I was like, oh, that's what it feels like.
What was the bull's name?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well,
The bull's name was I drew what? Oh, great.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about, we're in Huntsville. We're at the grounds of Huntsville. It's Jeremy's office is here for turnkey, builds metal buildings. You built this whole place.
Oh, yeah.
And actually remodeling somebody's house right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is our first shot at development.
Yeah.
The grounds was?
The grounds was, yeah, from nothing to something.
He built my old barn too when I lived in New Waverly.
Right. Yes,
Yeah.
I remember that. But being in Huntsville, it made me think about, were you there when I got on R.D. Mercer in the bareback riding in Huntsville? Mm-mm. Anyhow, I've been on a lot in that arena too.
I passed the other subdivision up the road there, old cowboy country.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, gosh, like I had the amount of times I've gone in and out of those gates.
Right.
Just to go. It brought back memories. Not a lot of good ones,
Right.
but there was a lot of memories.
Taylor's got it a little more low-key now.
Yeah,
He's got it right.
Taylor Price is doing a lot better job with it.
He's going to put a rodeo on there in September.
I guess who sponsored it?
You need to put one on here at the grounds.
It's the Cody Johnson. I sponsored it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, attaboy.
I'm off work. So I was like, Craig Price, his dad, was out at the house doing some dirt work. And I've known Craig since, like, him and my dad used to work at the prison system together before he was a state trooper. And I don't know how, like, I knew Craig, but I never really knew Taylor, even though we're just, like, the same age. I guess just different roads, different paths or whatever. And he's like, yeah, they're going to have this deal. And I was like, well, I can come. He's like, well, we're looking for sponsors. I was like, if I sponsor it, do I get separate seating? And so he's like, yeah, we're going to put you on a flatbed out there away from the bleachers. I was like, perfect. I'll pay for sponsors just so I can sit by myself.
You know what? We'll put a guitar in your hand.
Yeah. It's
now you're paying them to play guitar.
Yeah, you could have this whole deck for yourself.
That worked out pretty good.
Whoever else you want to bring.
For CP and Taylor Price.
Yeah, we discussed last night getting a bronc saddle back out, so maybe I could be ready to enter it.
Oh,
man.
That's the one you were talking about entering.
It wasn't the one we were talking about last night, but it'd be a lot more fun. And I hear that Jake and Lee got hoppers.
Oh, Jake's bringing the stock?
Mike King is bringing the bucking bulls, and I just think that would be how I would go. Like, Cody Johnson cracks out his bull rope. Old buddy Mike King that he started riding bulls with, and now he's dead. So
you crack back out in the bronc riding. You crack back out in the bull riding.
Dude.
At Huntsville.
That'd be worth so much more than whatever you're sponsoring it for.
Yeah. Like, no, the day I do that, we're going to raise millions for charity.
I was going to say.
And there's going to be so much insurance involved. Like,
dude, you could pluck a bull, though. We could find a duck.
I feel like that we could definitely find a good halter broke, little turn back to the right, and just fool everybody.
Be real careful. You don't want to get bucked off a duck. So
that was the other.
Like, bring me a decently ranked one, so I have an excuse of why I'm going to land in the gate.
Yeah.
I have a Brennel muley that turns back to the right, and is just a sweetheart.
I promise you I could ride him. Now my wife would absolutely flip.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just come to Winnebago and do it instead of
like no cameras. Make sure it's gonna work first. It's like you don't
film it.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but then if you don't like it, you could be an
We could delete
executive
it.
producer, like we talked about.
Yes.
We'll give you the executive producer rights, and you watch the final edit. If it doesn't go the way you want, that's the way I am with all my videos.
Yeah, I pull in the driveway and assume there's cameras everywhere. Like it's gonna be way more filmed there than it is in Huntsville.
Yeah, I had a close friend. He's already been outed, and I'll let you guys figure out who it is. He's a singer-songwriter, but he called me and he was like, I'm at the Dairy Queen in Graham. My cow just got out of the trailer. Can you please come help me? And I was like, yep. We jump in the truck, and we're headed that way with 2 horses. He calls me again. He said, please do not film it. I said, nope, I'm filming it. You cannot call a YouTuber.
Who is this?
It's like, I'm filming this conversation we're having.
I said, I'm sorry. You called a YouTuber. I'm your first call. You also have to let me do this for you.
Okay, I have an interview question for you then. Has it not? So I remember before, like I remember the wig.
Oh, yeah.
Like the wig, man.
It's still a wig.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's got a little gray in it.
Did you see?
Dang.
Why did the wig change colors?
Yeah.
Is it not taking a toll on you being on camera all the time, all these years? Because I'll tell you why I'm asking this after you answer it. Personally,
no, we were talking about this last night. Like, I love that part of my job. It's the part that we were doing all this. I was doing this before I knew it was gonna go.
Yeah,
on
and
camera.
I remember that.
Prank phone calls. There were no cameras
in Vegas, like when we prank
Dude, that
called
was
Brandy.
10 years ago.
I know.
It's insane.
But see,
There's
like,
some
okay,
stories
the
about
reason I
that, by
asked
the way.
that-
I'll bring that up later. But go ahead.
I have to have time to turn it off.
Right.
Like I love what I do. Like I'm more comfortable in front of 75,000 people than I am having a personal conversation with somebody I don't know. Like that's legit.
I get that.
And like on media days, like whenever I go up for CMAs or CMTs or iHeart Awards or whatever the heck's going on, like all day long, I've got a camera on me.
Yeah.
And I'm not different. I'm not that different of a person off camera. Obviously, I will share my opinions with my friends like I do with you guys, like off camera, that I don't think that opinions belong on camera all the time.
Right.
You know, so like it's kind of just keep it to yourself. You can believe whatever you want to believe, but I don't have the need to just jump up and down on camera and state what I feel. So in that, I don't feel like I'm a hypocrite, but like I have to, like, as soon as the camera turns off, I go, like, you know, everybody's seen me do it. Oh, like
right.
Now I can relax. Like it makes me, like, it's almost like I can feel the camera on me.
Really?
Yeah.
So the camera part bothers you more than being on stage part.
Yeah, because when I'm on stage, that's my world,
But
and my world's perfect, and I control everything in the world.
So 74,000 plus people live, you mess up, they all know immediately. That doesn't bother you. But a camera where we can delete it, edit it, start over, trash it, somebody may, if you don't like it, nobody will see it. That bothers you?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Like iHeart, though, iHeart Awards.
Yeah, that's a little different.
Well, check this out. This happened this year. Howie, my manager, approves all the cameras, right? So my publicist, Jesse, says when we walk into a room, she's like, hey, when we turn this corner, you're going to be being filmed. Like, don't pick your nose.
Right.
Okay, cool. Do I have anything in my teeth? It's just that simple, right? And when we walk into this next, there will be cameras at this interview. So all this stuff was approved. Backstage was not approved. Someone from iHeart, or no, I'm sorry, I'm saying this wrong. It was the ACM Awards, not the iHeart Music Awards. It was the ACM Awards. Someone from Dick Clark Productions decided to take it upon themselves to get backstage behind the scenes footage and was walking around with a cell phone, not a camera, not like headphones and you have a person working behind it.
Right.
And I was on camera saying some things that I would never say out loud except to a friend. There were some superlatives used that I wouldn't talk in front of my kids like that.
Right.
And it got used.
It's just not, I mean, your brand is specific.
Right. And I was like, it stressed me out. And I was like, because we got it pulled down. And obviously it was like, hey, you don't film someone picking their nose. You don't film someone scratching their butt or whatever, you know, like, or eating. Right. Something that's not flattering to them. But like, I'm like, dude, cameras scare me because like I always feel like I'm looking over my shoulder like, am I being filmed right now?
Right.
You know, did I just say something that's going to come back to bite me in the rear end?
Yeah.
You know, and of course, Brandy, my wife's like, well, then just start watching your mouth. And I'm like, I have a serious problem with that.
Yeah.
That's a great simple approach.
I don't think I can do that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with what you just laid out.
I don't know.
I mean, that's all pretty standard. When we filmed the Netflix show, there was at one point I kind of had to deliver some bad news to a guy, halfway fire a guy on camera, and I was like, "No, I don't want this."
Yeah, don't put that on camera.
And while I'm on the phone, I see these two cameramen like sidestep because I was going around the round pen, and I look back, and it did piss me off.
Yeah,
because I just told them, and from that point on, there was just no more trust between me and that person, and that I don't know. I feel the same way, but I've seen you, politely tell somebody we were at the South Point. Somebody back there come around the corner filming you. You didn't know who they were, but it's just there's a line.
There is a line.
People aren't supposed to cross, and
right.
You're allowed to have a personal life, aren't you?
Yeah, but like it's gotten to the point like where
I bet you don't.
Yeah, like
sometimes.
I even like, and I hate it, but like I stopped going to church because I'd be in church trying to listen to the sermon, and I look over and there's someone filming me.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, like now I'm not completely I didn't get anything out of this,
and neither did they.
And I'm like, I'm a distraction to the service.
Correct. That's kind of how I feel sometimes.
Like people make fun of me for my habits of like always having the favorite Mexican restaurant. It's like because I make friends with the people who own it and manage it and wait there. That way when I walk in, they're like, go to the back. Like,
right.
Perfect. You already know what I'm going to order too.
They got those baby cry rooms.
The what?
At churches. Like if a nursing mother is at church.
Yeah.
You're in there with
so
like
weird. Every time Cody comes in here, he just sits with the nursing mothers. Like
you
that's gonna get me in more trouble.
That's true.
What's up, ladies?
I've sat in there before.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. My last time I went to the church, the normal church I go to is there's like 14 of us in there.
What do you do if a woman starts breastfeeding? You just don't look.
Well, most of the time they got like this big cloak thing they carry around.
He kicks the women out. So he can have the room.
Ma'am, do you see me trying to enjoy myself?
Right. You know who I am.
Yeah, why are you in here? Maybe because I cry a lot. Give me a break.
Yeah. Safe space, man.
Anyway, we have so many like connections, you and I. It's so weird.
Same birthday.
You said a while ago, like you and Taylor were the same age. I was like, not as much the same age as me and you are.
The only person I've ever met the exact same age.
Right. The
Exact
exact
same.
Like I know other people with May 21st.
Yeah, the birth date.
Yeah.
Right.
Like almost the same time.
You know what that means? Our parents had sex the same day.
Maybe.
I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure it
know.
does.
I don't know.
Right? Isn't that what that means?
Gestation period varies.
Does it?
I mean, my calves are all like 180 days apart.
Talk to a doctor.
Talk to a doctor.
In a book. But also the paths. Like whenever you were at the talent show at State Convention, I was there.
I did not know that.
I was, my dad was an ag teacher.
Did you vote for me?
Of course. Of course.
I was not in the same area.
Yeah.
He didn't vote for me.
Well,
No, I don't remember who
You
I
must
voted
not have been
for.
too talented if he didn't know you were there, but you knew who he was there. So,
Dude, I remember.
Well, there's more
came
than just
later.
the talent contest. We don't go to State Convention, and that's the only thing. There's
yeah.
other reasons people are there. But no, I didn't ever compete in the talent
Horse judging,
contest.
land judging, parliamentary procedure, all
There's
that.
all kinds of stuff. Jeremy.
I went to state and land judging.
But then even just rodeoing around here. Like
Yeah.
I remember the Cody Darnell memorial. I never went to it.
Yeah.
But the year that you talk about in your documentary, like I remember because Shane, Cody's brother, was always out at Bubba's. I love Shane. You know Shane.
Bobby Shane's crazy.
Bobby Shane Darnell.
He's nuts.
Bobby Shane. Golly, he was so funny. I remember we were at Bubba's and he said, these mouthpieces supposedly give you 2% more try. That's why I put like 3 of them in my mouth. He said, that's why I put 3 of them in my mouth. Like when you bite down on them, they're supposed to give you 2% more try, so I put 3 of them in there.
6 is what I needed.
I needed 6% more.
That's funny.
But that,
I remember being at South Point, and I have a few weird, like, it's ironic you say this, but like, I remember being at South Point whenever Dale was like new, like brand new, like people were like, "Who's this dude with aviators and
Mud
lacrosse rubber boots on?" And We gravitated towards it, but I remember like I was playing South Point, and people were like, "Who is this guy opening for Aaron Watson?" Like, you know what I mean? It's like, and so what's funny is like Cody Webster, like his first NFR.
Yes,
we did the exact same thing that you and I did. Was wound up sitting on the bus in the parking lot, like
till 5 a.m.
This is crazy. Like, you know, what do you want to do with your career? I hope it does this. You know, I hope this happens in my career. And me and Webb did the exact same thing,
dude. I remember that night like it was yesterday. That was 10 years ago.
That was probably longer than
we sat on the bus till 5 a.m, and you were just like pouring wisdom into me, and I was just like soaking it in. One of the things you said, you addressed Chris Ledoux, and his definition of a cowboy. I'll let you say it.
Go ahead.
It was what he didn't put in the book. The guy that wrote his book that wished he had, but let your yes be yes and your no be no, which was Chris's definition of a cowboy. But we talked for hours and made a couple of little silly videos even, and then we went in. I was so broke. I had run out of money, and I was staying. The reason I was even at the South Point is because I was staying with Chuck Swisher.
I didn't know that.
He was single at the time. I'd run out of money, and I was bunking with him. So anyways, you and we go up, and we're on, I don't know if you remember this, but we were on the elevator, and we go up, and you were on a higher floor, a little nicer room. So I get off the elevator first, and we're still talking, and you say, we're talking on the elevator, and you're like, and remember, in your career, you're like, the most important thing that you got to remember. And then the elevator door shut, and I was out in the hall, and I was like, what did he say? And we hadn't exchanged phone numbers or nothing. And then I hear you laughing. To this day, I have no idea what you were going to say.
I didn't say anything.
And
it was the funniest thing
I
ever.
have always
remember.
But it wasn't, you weren't like, it wasn't a joke. Like, you were legitimately giving me advice. It's just always, never
Might have
forget.
had something to do with several Jaeger bombs.
I can hear you laughing going up. And I wasn't laughing as much because I was like, whoa.
It's a good joke, but I really want to know what he's going to say.
Yeah, this is a good story, but.
I have an uncanny ability to give people great wisdom and great advice and great guidance. And then whenever it starts to get real for me, I forget all of it. Like I can't tell myself to do it. I can tell you,
yeah,
but I can't tell myself.
The worst thing is that anything that me and Dale talk about, he remembers way better than I do.
Yeah.
So he's like, "But last time you said this, and this time you're saying this." It's like, man, I don't remember where we were at that
last
day.
time.
Why you got to be remembering?
Right?
That was 7 years ago, Dale.
Yeah, 7 years ago.
I do remember a lot of stuff. Donnie made fun of me because we were putting up a teepee the other day, and I was like, "You ever stayed in one of these?" And he said, "Yes, 2 weeks ago with you." I was like, "Oh yeah, my bad." But then Jeremy will say something, and I'll remember it for 19 years.
Yeah, Brandy's the same way. She's like, one time I was in 3rd grade. It was a Tuesday. It was 58 degrees outside, and I had this green sweater on. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't remember high school.
No.
Like,
there's so many
people
good
do that
things.
to me all the time. Hey, remember that time we played this show here? And I'm like, no. They're like, yeah, this happened and this happened, and then the cops this, and there was a fight, and I'm going, no. Like, you legitimately don't remember? No.
I've asked people about horses that I got on last weekend. Like, not anymore, right? But hey, you know this horse? Like, you should.
Yeah,
you got on him Saturday. Like, oh, dude.
My bad.
Legitimately didn't remember that. Or don't remember what arenas looked like. Yeah. I don't know what it is about certain things that are important to some people, and then those same things aren't the same importance to other people. But whatever that is, I have a real hard time with that. I can't remember them.
But what is okay? So like on that note, I can remember. I would say 99.99% of every song I've ever started writing or finished writing. Like I remember them.
See, I was about to ask. There's got to be something you remember and it's
That's like
your
the
music.
Thing. Yeah, dude. If you knew how many times a night I'm standing back from the microphone, and I don't know the words to my own song, and it's just
and
Saturday night, and you're like, oh. But you just got to go open and like it'll just come out. It's like mechanics. It just starts out. It gets a little stressful sometimes.
I think that seems stressful.
it's almost laughable. It's funny because they're all just this whole place. I've got them in the palm of my hand, 12,000 people or whatever it is. And I'm like, y'all don't even know. I almost just didn't remember a song I wrote 15 years ago, and I've sang every night since.
You're probably at a point in your career where you get a lot of grace, though. Like, people don't care.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to boo you
fun.
off the stage for that, right?
I would laugh at myself, honestly. I'd be like, hey, I don't remember these words. Can y'all just sing them? You know what I mean? Like,
right, like at this point, not remembering words would be different than, I assume, like getting out there and not, man, can I do this? Can I bring this crowd up? It's like this point, you know you can bring this crowd up. You know you can put it where it needs to be.
yeah, but you can't ever drink the Kool-Aid like that, though. You're right, but you can't drink that Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Because, like, then complacency, it opens the door for complacency.
Right.
And I'm like, I always want to pretend that they're going to hate me if I don't do my best.
Does the forgetting the words happen more just because, or is it like you get distracted by something you saw in the crowd, like a fight?
That's happened. No, I'll stop for a fight.
To watch?
No, to like, y'all want to fight?
It's like
collect your
Collect your wages first. You boys want to fight?
Oh my God.
I did the Jenny
How
off of
many
Forrest
people?
Gump one time, like recently. These two dudes are
Went out there naked with just your guitar?
no. Although I'd sell more tickets probably at least once.
Yeah.
No, they were trying to
Kool-Aid.
fight. They were trying to fight, and I was like, "Hey, you stupid jerks! I'm trying to sing a song here." And I think my band is the only ones that got it because we're all dying laughing. The crowd's like, "What's he looking at back there? Like, what is he even talking about?" I don't know.
Have you ever had any fights break out that you couldn't break up?
Cody Johnson is the Dale Brisby of country music. He can do with a guitar what I can do with a set of bull riding spurs, and that is keep it 90, old son. So look out for his album coming up soon. It's Leather. It's a deluxe album, 24 tracks. Also, something to look out for is the new Daleware. It comes out August 8th on rodeotime.com. It's the same day that we release our next episode of Rodeo Time, and it is the most exciting episode we've ever recorded on YouTube, so look out for that. I'd like to thank our sponsors, American Hat, Total Feeds, Can-Am Side by Side, Rock and Roll Denim, and Mountain Ops Supplements. Check out those awesome companies. Check out rodeotime.com. We love you. And now back to Cody Johnson and this amazing story.
Like they're bad enough that like,
Oh yeah, like in the bar days, there were some where we got off the stage. Like, man, somebody could have a gun. You know what I mean? Like somebody might get stabbed, kind of deal.
Right.
We grew up playing rough places, and there was some brawls that like we exited the stage and went out the back door and was like, man, y'all tell us when it's clear to come in there, but we ain't playing that. Like,
right.
like there's beer bottles being broke over people's faces and stuff.
Right.
So like, I'm not gonna sit in there and do that. Like, and I, you know, my background, like I worked at a prison for a long time. Like, I'm not gonna play.
Yeah.
I can't play fight. I've had guys, one guy a couple of years ago was fighting and he roughed up, like he kind of bumped into a woman, and I called him out and was like, hey, you know, jackass, like it's time for you to go. Get out. And he kind of bowed up to me, started walking towards the stage. And I was like, oh, you think you're going to come up here then? So I like took my guitar and put it behind me, and I had my microphone, and I was just going to hit him in the head with the microphone. And Noe, everybody doesn't know Noe. He's like my right-hand guy. He's been with me for like 12 years. And Noe was standing right behind me, and I didn't know that it was happening. And they grabbed him right as he was coming up on the stage and kind of whoop, and took him out the back. And I turned around and Noe's like right here. And I'm like, you should have let me have him. That one was mine. But I've seen two women fight harder than any man I've ever seen fight.
Really?
At a concert?
Yeah, like hair flying, spit flying, blood flying, just.
Did they grab each other's hair, or were they just?
It was like me and you hold onto a rope and neither one let go and just. And,
Dang.
and I'm like, God almighty, like, ladies, could you please calm down?
I saw there were some women fighting last weekend at a Kid Rock concert. Got to see they were not small ladies, and they were throwing down.
Throwing bones, yeah.
What was the roughest thing you saw in the prison?
I can't talk about that.
Oh, you can't?
I just don't. There's certain stuff, like, I don't go there.
Just like the fighting
like,
part, you know what I'm
well,
talking about? Or
you
just
get
any of it?
stabbed to death, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you see certain stuff you see, you're like, you can't unsee that. And it's people have asked me, like, that's the main, like, I've been asked that a lot over the years of like, what's the worst thing you've seen? And I'm like, like, I don't go there.
It's like a personal thing. It's not like a legal
it's like
thing.
no, it's not a legal thing at all.
Right.
I mean, like, but like once you've seen somebody stabbed to death and you're having to handle the situation, you don't really know who did what, you kind of feel at risk.
That level of worst thing you've seen that didn't cross my mind. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Like I
just meant like a really hard right hook.
No, I haven't had,
but I guess it's prison. So
prison.
Yeah.
We're not talking about a concert.
Hard right hooks
Yeah.
are normal. Like somebody wakes up in a bad mood and goes to breakfast and throws a hard right hook. And
Okay,
it's like,
yeah. So I didn't realize I was asking that deep of a question.
Oh, yeah.
So you talk about the rough bars, and I'm thinking Roadhouse where they're throwing the beer bottles against the chicken wire, right?
I never played behind chicken bar, not once.
Okay, so we go to some of our friends invited us to a church here in town, and me and Carly go to church. We put the kids in the kids' church, and we're sitting there. And we're watching the guy sing at the beginning, and they've got a drum set, and the drum set is in a glass box. And I leaned over to Carly and I was like, "Hey, what do you think? Why do you think they have the drums in the glass box?" And without missing a beat, she said, "So he doesn't get hit with beer bottles." Oh, that was good.
No, it's because whenever they started transitioning out of that old piano into rock music, some of them old ladies in the crowd weren't as excited about it.
I'm mouthing to Carson off camera to please open the door.
Jeremy doesn't have AC back here.
That's my bad,
I'm just the most hot-natured person in here.
I don't know.
Once the first bead does this, it's a water fountain.
Yeah, that happens at your shows.
But it's different at my shows because people are like, "Oh my God, look how passionate he is! Look how hard he's working."
But in a podcast,
it's like, "Why is he sweating like that?"
Oh, he's nervous to be on camera with Deb Brisby.
That could be it.
The greatest of all time this year. Read it right there.
I like the
Champion
commercial
this year.
I didn't get to be your mom's favorite bull rider for nothing. I'm like, gosh, dang, you threw the mom joke in there.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I was happy they let me do that.
I bet.
Yeah. So I'm very cutting edge. Like I toe the line, cross it every now and then, but then
we were discussing the line. Carson, my brother-in-law, is with me today. My ranch manager does a great job, by the way. J Bar C Ranch, Madisonville, Texas, COJO Land and Cattle. We were discussing like the line. Like, because I was in a bad mood today, and I'm like, I should have gone on like Rogan today and been like, F it, I'm fixing to say some stuff like,
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, like career-ending statements. And then I started thinking about like today's society. I'm like, I would probably quadruple my fan base. It's sad, but
Yeah.
Polarizing.
yeah,
Yeah.
people want to watch the car wreck.
Guys, what he means by that is the Dale Brisby podcast is as big as Joe Rogan. We just don't
wondering if he was going to bite that.
We just don't have the explicit E at the end of it sometimes. And no offense to those who do, but this is a kid show.
I've thought about that too. Like Taylor Sheridan and I have talked about, like, I was going to be on 1883, fun fact, and I couldn't make it work with my scheduling.
Because you're not that old? Just because it's 100 years ago. Sorry, bad joke.
Yeah.
That was the daddest joke I have heard in a long time, dude. That was good.
Well, you said schedule.
It took me for a minute. I couldn't make it work around my show schedule.
Well, it's kind of like they asked me to judge a women's cycling contest once, but I told them I couldn't take 28 days off work.
Oh, my God.
Was that dad enough for you?
I'm going to take that one.
You can
I'm
have it.
using that one.
Give me credit the first 3 times, and then it's yours.
And then I'm paid off.
Then it's yours.
But like,
Anyway.
what if we do a movie and I'm required to be like the murdering outlaw that cusses people up and down and is like total immorality?
Yeah.
And at first I was like, no, I would not do that. Nope. Got too many kids that look up to me and I'm not going to do that. But then I thought about it after a while and I'm like, you know what? Like I think I would enjoy trying to be that guy. And I think that was something, like, if that opportunity ever comes along, I'll probably just make like a public statement on my social media. Like, hey, look, I'm going to be in this movie and I'm going to be playing this part. Do not let your children watch this as a depiction of like Cody Johnson. And it's like, and if you're a fan and if you're going to have a problem with, don't watch this. But like, I'm going to do it because, like, I mean, who wouldn't want to go be like a cool actor and be like,
I think
Anybody?
that's unsaid though, man.
Bruce
I think,
Dern.
You're playing a part, right?
Right. It's a character. It's not you. It's
I don't
a
feel that
character.
same way about Bruce Dern,
Who's Bruce Dern?
the guy that killed John Wayne in the Cowboys,
I do hate that guy.
or Jake.
Right, but that's people
I didn't
that
know that Bruce Dern. Yeah, he's
Isn't that
horrible.
Bruce Dern?
But when they play multiple villains, right, they end up being a villain in that.
But
But
it just
that's
took one for
also-
him because at
also
the
kinda
time
makes
he
you
killed
wonder-
John Wayne.
But see, Bruce Dern isn't a character on his own. Like y'all are characters, standalone brand characters in a certain way. If you were playing Cody Johnson on screen and you were acting like that, well, then
See,
it's off brand.
I think that if
Okay.
he were a bad guy and he killed, let's say, the John Wayne of this era, Dale
There is
Brisby,
no-
Dale Brisby,
I was gonna say, who's that?
America would hate him. America would hate him.
A lot of own Kool-Aid jokes.
I don't drink my own Kool-Aid either.
You make your own Kool-Aid.
That's right. And then I make all my interns drink it. By the way, you need interns.
Kind of do.
You sell on
I
interns
pay
pretty
my
hard, man.
interns though.
I do too.
Oh, well then, yeah, I have interns.
Yeah. Donnie gets paid. Look at them clothes he's wearing. What?
Exposure.
Is that a Gucci belt?
No,
No. It's a leather one that my brother made.
I was
actually.
gonna say that's a Leroy belt.
Yeah. He made
I
a
have a couple of those
guitar
too.
strap for, or is it
Oh,
guitar
that's cool.
strap or was
No,
it
I've got
the
some
belts?
Dude, I've still got one belt that he made me that I've been wearing for probably 10 years.
Probably 10
And
years.
it is like legit.
Little babies come up to like when people come up to the booth and they're like, would you take a picture of my baby? Like, absolutely. I thought you would never ask. And then if they don't cry, it's hard for me to give them back. Like a little
I won't
baby.
hold somebody else's baby.
You don't like to?
It freaks me out because I feel like it's a setup.
For what?
Some type of charge, something. He
Really?
did something. He did something.
Now I
And I'm
do.
like, whoa,
I do
maybe
make
it's the prison
sure.
background, but I'm like,
I do make sure you can see both hands, but that's all the time, no matter the age or gender of the person. I try to, like, especially like I go to the state conventions, younger girls, like I try to put my hands up like this.
Chris Ledoux never put his hands around anybody.
Really?
He would stand with he would shake their hand and then put his hands behind his back like this, and they would take pictures and they'd put their hands on him. And I'll take pictures with people and I hug them, and like Noe is my guide as far as like when women start to like grope, he's like,
Yeah, 'cause they
hey,
might
don't
be-
do that. Don't do that. You can't do that in the picture. And then he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
So
you
they
don't have
hate
to-
him, not me.
That's good.
And you have to have a bad guy.
That's a good setup.
Like Noe's like, hey, look, when we get off the bus, we're going to walk through this crowd. If you want to stop, you stop. But whenever I say, hey, I've got to get him out of here, you can blame me. So whenever he's like, hey, nope, no more. I got to get him out of here. I say, sorry, folks. He says I got to go. Well, then he's the bad guy. And then I'll
100%.
walk around the corner and go, high five, man.
Yeah, and they're like, man, that guy with Cody Johnson is a jerk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Rather than,
And that worked so well before this podcast.
Hey, hey, I hope this guy's not listening. I had a guy with an infant. What's the movie where they're like, oh, you have a baby in a bar? Sweet Home Alabama.
that boy Donnie.
Donnie, I got Sweet Home Alabama in a concert. We were playing an arena. It's probably, I don't know, 17,000 people, 15,000 people. It's an infant with no headphones on like the third row. And as I walk out onto the thrust is the balcony that kind of goes out into the crowd, where they can touch your feet and you have to worry about that lawsuit. He
getting
starts
tripped.
holding this baby up and I'm singing. I have words coming out of my mouth, singing on a microphone. I'm playing a song and he starts screaming, Cody, COJO, it's his first concert. Cody, it's his first one. Hold it, man.
And you're saying, no shit.
Can you autograph his hat, Cody? And I'm like, and it's like Pennsylvania, and like just holding this baby up, and it's making the people around him uncomfortable. They're like, oh my God, and I'm thinking while I'm ignoring him and singing to the rest of the people, I'm thinking, what do you want me to do? Hey man, can I hold your infant up here?
Just hold him real quick, get it out of the way.
And I thought about it. I was like, what if I grabbed him and then just turned around and started to walk off.
And see, this is the kind of conversation you're having in your head that makes you forget a lyric.
Exactly. So I run back to the talkback mic, which is a microphone that only we can hear.
Right.
And I'm like, Noe, enter bad guy. Noe, please tell this man. And then I'm like, I start laughing as I'm saying it because I'm like 18 years old. I never thought I'd say this. Hey, can you please tell this guy to put his baby down so that the people behind him won't freak out and leave? I'm trying to sing. Like it gets weird.
Yeah.
It gets weird.
That's crazy. That's the kind of stuff that.
But then, like on the other hand of it, you're like, I appreciate that's a super fan.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. But it's still, I was like, I can't take your baby.
That's hilarious.
You don't get freaked out by holding people's babies?
I mean,
what if you dropped one?
When I say baby, I mean like 18 months.
That's a baby.
Try hard.
18 months.
I mean, drop it.
Aren't they kind of dirty?
Like, what if they were like, hey, would you take a picture? I'm like, oh, sure, sweetheart. Oh, bloom. And you're like, do it. Then what happens?
Oh, well.
What is it, the campaign?
I'm not going to lie. I haven't thought about this.
About my hand after hitting the iron jaw of that baby?
Right.
Congressman punches baby. Sorry. You'll have to watch the campaign, not with your children.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that. The only time I
think about all those things.
The only time I really got set up was like, it was in San Antonio this year. A girl, I mean, when they walk up holding something to, like I'm standing in the booth, I had a marker or to sign, and she came around the corner. She was holding this hat, and like I just simply pulled my marker out of my pocket, and she saw me, and she was like, "Oh no," and I just immediately put it back in. I was like, "Oh, okay, yes, ma'am." Like I don't care. Like that's what I thought. You're standing in line behind 19 people who had me sign something. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't just walk up to people's stuff and start signing it. Would
you like me to sign that for you?
I'm sure you want.
I'm trying to eat my dinner. I'll sign that for you though.
I'm in a Mexican food restaurant. I don't know who you are, long-haired weirdo. But no, she walked into my booth holding this thing behind someone who had me sign something. Anyway, and she put it on TikTok. They had filmed the whole thing, and and then like
you can't outdale the Brisby.
And then she put that part, puts it in slow mo, and then like because I immediately put that back, call her ma'am, put my arm around her, take the picture. And then she does this deal where she flips off the camera on a separate. She edited a video, and then people shredded her in the comments, and she had to like make another video saying she was joking, which she wasn't, but she looked like a jerk.
I signed Jackson's hat.
Yeah,
by accident.
What?
Jackson's my tour manager.
Big man,
large human being.
Oh, you signed it by accident.
By accident.
That's hilarious.
At the end of the show, I walked back out on the thrust out there, and there's like the pit, so everybody's face level with where my feet are.
Right.
And I pull out my marker, and like there's a mom and a dad and a little girl, and she's got a sign that says like my first COJO concert, and so I sign it, and I'm like, take a selfie, and just trying to like people are handing cowboy hats, lots of cowboy hats, man. Resist All. I know you're American, but the Resist All Cody Johnson hat has become very popular at the show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You have your own hat.
There's a lot of
that's pretty
and
cool.
They're putting hats, and so it's a bunch of straw hats, and I'm signing hats, and I'm signing hats, and I grabbed the bill of this hat, the brim of this hat, and I signed it, and it was on Jackson's head. He goes,
I'm sure he appreciated it.
Jerked his, he looks up at me, and I was like, "Oh, my bad."
That's hilarious.
There's a co and a squiggle in your hat, though. That's my bad.
And it was a horrible autograph because I realized that it was on Jackson's.
Trying to get away from you.
The seed is this, and I'm like, Johnson.
This would work a lot better if you'd hold still.
Yeah.
Does he still wear it? Please tell me he still wears it.
He still wears it.
That's awesome.
He's like, we'll be getting dressed in the bus. He's like, autograph hat night.
Yeah. You should sell it.
Dude, you should sell that.
That's hilarious.
Sell it with I'll sign the certificate of authenticity.
Yeah.
Did you remember that concert?
No.
Yeah, you do. The one that deal out in the pasture where it was called Doxa.
Yes.
You remember that one?
I remember that one. Yeah. I'm not going to say why because I don't want to offend anybody.
Right. Well, there weren't a lot of people out there. It was out in the middle of nowhere.
Nowhere.
And but there were a lot of people driving out there.
Oh, I was on stage thinking, man, they cut some really good hay here. like while I'm playing. Like it was that kind of show.
There weren't that many people there. For like a Dale Brisby appearance, maybe it was an all right turnout. For a Cody
Not
Johnson
for me,
concert,
but-
it was not. This wasn't no Houston.
It was guaranteed money.
right. So it was, that part was
Which
good.
is why you have guarantees.
Exactly.
Which I told him beforehand, we're not doing it without guaranteed money because he wanted to make it part of the gate deal. I was like, no, this is the first year. I was like, I'm not going to do it without a big act.
Yeah.
And so the first name I said was Cody Johnson. Then Cody's not going to do it without a guaranteed check. Like, I knew that. I didn't even ask Howie to do the deal. Anyway, but what was funny was like there were a lot of people coming in because it was just such a far drive. We could see a trail of lights. And I went on stage and, which album was it that you were releasing or had released that, or was it Luke Bryan? It was going to be number one.
That was Cowboy Like Me.
Yeah.
It was Cowboy Like Me.
And it was about to be the number one.
It wasn't Luke Bryan. It was Blake Shelton.
There it was. And,
It was about to be number one, and they re-released an
we
old
can take
album.
this story out if you want.
I don't care. It happened.
They re-released an old album and marked it down to 99 cents.
And it went number one. I didn't get
Because obviously it was, it would go number one at
Yeah.
less than $1. So I went out on stage and be like, I know the show's supposed to start at 7:30. We're going to wait till 8 o'clock. There's a long line of people trying to get in, and Blake Shelton's at the front of it, just refusing to pay more than $1. That's what I told the crowd.
Remember that.
Refusing to pay more than $1. Sorry, Blake, if you're out there. I'm sure you probably didn't make this call. And if you're listening 20 minutes into this podcast, then
Awesome.
good for you.
Speaking of guaranteed money, I had no idea, by the way, what the preface was on this. He texts me and says, "Can I pay you to come be on this podcast?" And I almost like legitimately came up with like a deal structure, like had Howie like send him a contract and a deal structure of like a payment plan and like all of it, and like guaranteed upfront by this date.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, you can't pay me. Like I had no preface on what this was about. So if I'm like just going down rabbit holes, it's just because I'm talking like three of us just sitting here talking. I think like this is not only the first podcast I've ever done, but I don't listen to podcasts. So I have no idea how this is supposed to go. Is this
You're
going
doing
well?
great.
Oh, it's going
Doing
great.
great.
And you won't care anyway if you're not going to
This
listen
is what
to
my
it.
wife, I'll listen to this one now. I actually didn't know. This is how disassociated I am. I didn't even know there was this podcast. I'm your newest fan now.
Newest
Thank
fan.
you.
Yeah. You might be the only reason. God, Brandy's going to love you. It took Dale and Jeremy to get you to listen to a podcast? Anyway,
I listen
speaking of,
to podcasts that Brandy tells me to listen to.
I know.
Like, they're good.
She sent me, listen to this. I'll get back to guaranteed money in a second. She sends me, we have our nonprofit organization that you're on the board of A Different Day. And there's this new movie out called The Sound of Freedom about
Love it.
It was hard to watch, man, about trafficked children and women that have been exposed to a different line of work than what women should be exposed to. You can go watch it on your own. Brandy sends me this link of the guy that plays the guy, and it's them talking.
Yeah.
Well, she sends it to me, and in context, I was like, well, this looks very interesting. Like, if I'm going to go watch this movie, I'd really like to know this backstory. Well, 5 minutes into this clip that she sends me,
Tim
I'm like,
Ballard.
Tim Ballard.
Yeah.
I click it, and 5 minutes in, I go sit down in my bathroom. I've got a really comfortable chair in there, not the toilet.
I was about to
And
say.
I just go chill, right? 5 minutes in, I'm like, how long is this clip? It's an hour and 45-minute podcast. And I'm like, nope, click. And she was like, did you enjoy that clip? I said, the first 5 minutes were great. She goes, you didn't make it past 5? I said, Brandy, don't send me something an hour and 45 minutes.
You send me 3 minutes, lady.
If you can't get it in 3 minutes, which, I mean, I don't know, man, it's just me. But I don't read books either.
Yeah.
I read
Yeah.
every day. Like, I read your hat a while ago. But like, I don't read books.
I can read.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Anyway.
Speaking of the
I
hat.
had this story. I was like, you said when you text me, you were like, any old stories from back in the day. Well, speaking of guarantees, a guarantee. I just thought of this, and I hadn't thought about this in over 10 years. Scooter Brown, an artist, used to be based out of Texas. Now he's in Nashville. We played a bar in somewhere on the coast, the Gulf Coast in Texas one time. And we were supposed to be paid, I think he got like $750 and I got like $750. And at the end of the night, the club owner was like, well, didn't do as well at the bar tonight as I thought we would, so sorry about your bad luck. I'm not paying you. And we're like, no, you're going to pay us. And he's like, no, I don't have to do anything. He's like, it was a verbal agreement with your booking agent anyway. There's not a contract, so have fun with that. So he just leaves and goes into his office.
Dang.
And I looked at Scooter, and he's a former Marine. And I'm like, we're going in there to get that money. He's like, yep, we are. Well, his office was connected to a kitchen. One of us picked up what resembled like a big butcher knife.
Yeah.
And one of us may or may not have picked up what resembled a large skillet.
Yeah.
And the skillet got banged on the table a few times, and the knife kind of moved around. And it was pretty much, hey, we're going to need that money.
Yeah.
And we both got paid. And we both got paid.
That's so much farther in a confrontation than I'm ever willing to do for $1,500.
But at the time, though, I was dead broke.
Yeah,
No, I mean,
I had to have
like
that.
I mean, from like the guy, like telling someone you're not going to pay them $1,500.
Oh,
That was kind of our point.
Yeah, I meant the other side. No. I didn't mean not going and getting your money. Like, yeah, we got to get home.
Yeah.
No, I'm on board with that.
Yeah.
Maybe I should start doing podcasts for therapy just to get stuff out.
It's fun, huh?
And then we'll just edit out the parts that, like, you shouldn't say that. When I did my documentary with Sean Silva, I did this whole thing. And at the end of it, he goes, man, I'm going to take out that, and that. And I was like, why are we taking that out? And he goes, save some stuff for therapy and VH1 behind the music when you're old enough that nobody will care.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
That's a good guy.
I hate the term, but I think the term is called killing your babies. In the music, in the film industry, it's like you film this one part, we did it with Netflix.
Most of it ends up on the floor.
Yeah, we had for 2 months we filmed, and there's like these 2 or 3 deals that we filmed that were amazing, and I'm like, why didn't that end up in there? And they called it, and I hated that expression.
Yeah,
because
it's the same thing with songwriting.
But
you have a great idea, and by the time you get through with it, your idea didn't get in it. You're like, well, I still have this great idea. I'm gonna take it with me.
But talking about
Excellent.
like a podcast or your documentary being therapy, like was it liberating getting that out when the documentary went out? Like
Yeah,
getting those thoughts, like was it freeing to just say it?
Well, it started with writing the song.
Right. The song
Dear Rodeo,
itself,
like writing Dear Rodeo was therapeutic, and that's what I was
That
doing.
was
it
liberating.
for. But then, like, I don't know if I can do enough podcasts. Like, my wife is constant. She's like, you need therapy. I don't know if it's like just like her thing to say, but like I'm starting to like want, like, do I need therapy? Like, do I need someone to talk to?
I think we all
That's
probably
what we're
do.
doing.
Yeah,
we'll
but I
talk.
know
Brandy's on the other side of these cameras.
I need
She's in a
therapy.
suit.
I need therapy where I can like say stuff like I just need to be able to say stuff with no judgment. But then like I'm probably gonna only get one appointment with that guy. That guy's gonna be like, sorry, I can't see you anymore.
Yeah.
You scare me.
Now I need therapy.
I know I need therapy because I've heard you talk for 30 minutes.
The therapist needs therapy.
Yeah, that's the part where I ask you how it makes you feel, but I don't really want you to tell me how it makes you feel.
That's the way I feel about therapy. It's like, I know this question's loaded because if I actually answer it, then they're going to call in someone else.
Well, my total feeds, he's more of a friend now than an endorsee, but Corey Anderson, Dr. Harry Anderson's son, he he's not a therapist or a psychiatrist, but he has a psychiatry degree. And so he's just a good dude. So he's good at helping people. But he says in therapy, it's normally the therapist helping the patient just discover something about themselves.
I already know what's wrong with
They
them.
already know it. They just need to say it. So,
I know what's wrong.
They help them
Professional
discover their own.
conversations.
They help them discover their own problem. Like it's in the client They just
Well,
have
it's
to say
like,
it.
you know, like she might kill me for this. So if I turn up dead, investigate Brandy first.
All right, Brandy.
she's like, you should go talk to some. You asked about the prison stuff. She's like, you should talk to somebody about, the few situations where you've had where it bothered you and this and that. I'm like, I know what the problem is. Like, I don't like rude behavior and I won't tolerate it. Man, like it kind of, like I don't know. I feel like if I ever talked and opened up to somebody, they would be like, yeah, we wasn't planning on going that deep today. It's only been 20 minutes.
Right.
I'm going to need to see you for 6 weeks.
Yeah. That's crazy that I was thinking about. I almost talked about it at the beginning whenever I was introducing both of y'all. So we all went to eat. How long ago was that? We went to that.
8 years.
No, it was longer than that, wasn't it?
Clara was here. Like Clara was born.
How old is Clara?
So
8.
She's 8.
So 9
7,
years.
7.
8 years probably. Somewhere around there.
Do you remember being my therapist on the back of my bus?
I do remember that video. That was hilarious.
Speaking of therapy, I can't wait to go home and be like, I have proof I've done therapy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you could pull it up on YouTube. What line did you from was it Pure Country?
All the smoke and the lights.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
It ain't me.
And then I falling asleep.
Turned up that heater on that stage.
I kept using I think maybe just you need to get back to it in a Texas kind of way. Like I was using all your lines.
It was cheesy.
It was fun
and
though.
It streamed like crazy.
And then you stepped off of your bus and you were like, yeah, but can I just one more? I was like, just come back next week. And I pushed you off and I shut the door like it was my bus. That was you get the joke.
See, like, you talk like therapy. Like when I say I want to get stuff out, like I want to get it out. Have you ever seen the experiment where they take the person's arm and they shove it all the way into a huge bucket of ice, and they're not allowed to cuss? Have you seen this? They take 2 people. They actually did a study group. There was like 5 here and 5 here. So they did this big long test study where they shove their arm all the way into this big huge ice cylinder, and it's like painful. These five people were allowed to cuss, these weren't.
Yeah.
And they were like, the people that weren't allowed to say curse words, their heart rates were through the roof, their blood pressure went crazy, like cardiac events happened, and like their brain waves were going nuts, and the people that were allowed to just scream cuss words were so much more healthy.
So it's kind of like the mouthpieces that Bobby Shane had in his mouth, like how they help, like the cuss words, like help release the bad. That's interesting.
Yeah, some people take them as a great, and it would probably freak people out if I just went off. But sometimes it's like, man, can I just get into a safe room and just let it all out, and then we're good.
For the most part, like it's unattractive. Girls can be unattractive about the way they cuss. Like I don't know.
I can't wait to hear the rest of this.
I think like a classy young lady, for the most part, but there are some girls that can drop certain cuss words, and it is like for lack of better words, the cutest thing.
Teeter, Yellowstone.
Well, his wife being one of them.
I'm not gonna say it's cute, but it's normal.
You don't think it's cute?
When Carly,
we do.
It doesn't bother me.
When Carly drops it,
but it's professional.
It's hilarious.
Like she's not practicing.
Do you realize how much Carly's personality and my personality are alike?
Right.
Me and Brandy just trying
scary.
to keep things under control over here.
Him and Brandy have like the very level-headed, and me and Carly are like, you want to step outside and fight?
Right.
Like,
oh my gosh,
we're the loose cannons, and it cracks me up.
I can see it.
It cracks me up.
I can see that.
Family vacations are a blast.
Yeah, y'all been on like what, 5 together?
Yeah.
Just wherever Cody takes us,
Come on, man.
You got that lake house now.
Ooh,
y'all been to his lake house yet?
I mean, that's back to your roots.
That's Lake Livingston, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sebastopol, born and raised.
Another circle that we like ran in but didn't bump into each other. You talked about in the documentary was Mike King.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was like a group of bullfighters and guys that would run around there. It might have been a little bit after, but they said like COJO, Southeast Texas Outlaws.
Oh my God.
And anyway, but Jake King, is he younger than you?
Jake was a I'm
For
36, bro.
Yeah.
You should know this.
Right. I do.
Jake was a child.
Yeah. So Jake's younger.
Yeah, like he was a kid. Like I didn't see Jake King again until like he was all grown up and like had this athletic build and was like fighting bulls. And I'm like, bro, when did you grow up? And then
He's got
spoke.
kids now, by the
I
way.
know. Does he really?
Yeah.
Well, he spoke and he still had the same voice.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm just kidding. I was like,
Love
yes.
His voice. He's got the same voice.
He's got the
as when he
same
was
voice
a
as
kid.
when he was a child.
Yeah.
Mike too. Mike King, man. Hey,
I love that family.
I got one over there one night and I got bucked off like 4. And I was like,
Pitching
what
in
am
the Pines. Is that what, did they call it that then?
I was there before the pitching of the Pines even happened.
Dang.
This is when Mike was like, he didn't have anything, but he was just bucking bulls, man, at his house.
Yeah.
And
King Stream.
I was like, what am I doing wrong? And Mike's like, yeah, sometimes you try hard and it don't work out, man, but you keep on trying and maybe it will, maybe it won't. Hell, I don't know. And I'm like, is that not Mike King?
Dude, you've been to,
so spot on.
you've been to a lot of therapy in your life. It turns out, like all these therapy sessions, you're good.
Half of them were stock contractors.
Yeah.
I feel like that is normal people right there.
Yeah, Sammy Andrews, just like. You remember Mike King?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is spot on.
That's straight Mike King.
The impressions, it's part of the most entertaining thing that he does. And I know that's saying something, but he's flipping
Brandy
impressions
says
that
it
he
all
does,
the time,
dude.
but I'm like,
I don't
I'm
know.
I mean, they're
embarrassed to
not
do
like
impressions.
polished, cleaned up like an impressionist you were watching on TikTok or anything, but they're right. And
That
it's
was spot
like
on.
just
What
off
else
the
you got?
cuff.
I don't know. See, this is I don't know.
And
Well-
who's gonna get offended over it? You know what I mean?
Well, Mike ain't, because it sounds just like it.
Yeah.
It sounds like a recording.
Like he did Craig the
Impressions?
other day, and I was like,
Oh,
this-
dude,
this-
Craig's good.
Yeah, it's just good.
Let me hear Craig.
Impressions and metaphors.
Yeah.
Like I come up with the stupidest metaphors, but you can't unravel it. You can't tell me it's wrong because it's not. It's just really stupid. And the best,
My kind of metaphor,
Like
right
your
there.
joke.
the time I like to break those metaphors out the most is when Brandy and I are not getting along.
Okay.
And
You got an
it's-
example?
It usually, like, I'll think of one in a minute. It usually, she just, and then I'm like, it made sense. Don't tell me it didn't make sense. She's like, you and these metaphors. I'm like, but we're not fighting right now.
Oh, kind of like an analogy, even.
Yeah, like a
when
great
you're trying to
analogy.
explain something
Oh,
to
yeah.
her, and you're just like,
yeah.
"Yeah, that's kind of like that turtle we saw in the dock down there at the lake.
Yes.
Just like that.
Yeah, it's like if a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his butt every time he jumped, kind of thing,
Yeah.
but way more dumb. Like
Yeah,
way
yeah,
more
yeah.
dumb. But it makes so much sense that whenever I say it, I immediately want to go like this.
Right.
Like if I had a microphone, that's when you drop it and walk out of the room.
And that's probably when it's good that it's not recorded, because doing a mic drop after saying something so dumb
No,
later
so
you
apparently,
realize.
There might be-
she's been writing them all down all these years. Apparently, her and Jody Bartula, my fiddle player of like 13 years, have been writing things down for years.
Oh, awesome! So there's going to be a Amazon bestseller called Codyisms.
Yes.
And we're going to be able to just read all this stuff that Brady's been documenting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my retirement plan.
I haven't noticed or seen the I'm assuming that's her name on your bicep. Dude, I freaking love tattoos with color.
I've got Corey, a red rose up here, and then Clara, little Kellogg's box sunrise right there.
If I had a tattoo, it would have color to
You
it.
should get a tattoo. You haven't gotten Rodeo Time tattooed yet?
No.
But it has been tattooed. So, like, what is, because you think about it's like people having you sign things or having tattoos of y'all's brand or name or something
Or
tattooed
face.
on or your face tattooed on their body.
I don't have.
That's
well, I
real.
do.
That
I guess I
happened to
do
me.
have that.
Yeah, for sure that you have that, like, so, like, it's kind of like, well, yeah, but they're them. Of course that's happened. But it's like, but they created it from nothing. Right, like these brands didn't exist before they made them exist. These things, you know what I mean? So it's like you've created something from nothing that's gotten so big, other people tattoo it on their bodies.
It is.
That's frequent.
Insane to think about.
I was about
And
to
it's
say
cool. I see that a
right
lot at the
there is on
concert.
a lot of people.
Or signatures. Like, and I always ask people to be like, hey, sign my shoulder. And I'm like, are you getting this tattooed? Yeah. I'm like, okay, then stand still. Like,
Yeah, I
give me
do,
a
yeah.
new pen.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'll,
I want it to
I'll
be right.
because the
Yeah.
first couple of times I did it, I was like, oh, that is so cool. I wish I'd have done that. That's horrible.
Yeah. Okay. I
wish I'd have done that
love that
better.
you said that. I do the
Oh,
same
dude, I was
thing.
like, oh,
So-
you got that done.
Somebody say, sign right here, and I'm going to go get it tattooed. And I'll be like, okay, hold on. And I turn around and I grab a Rodeo Time sticker. And I was like, how about I sign the back of this? You get the Rodeo Time logo, and then the signature.
They can trace it
under it, and then it's like it's even bigger than Dale Brisby. It's an idea that you can apply to your life somehow. The rodeo time, like what does rodeo time mean to you? And it came from Dale Brisby. That's just my thought. But I do get like real nervous about do you give them? I bet you do. Free merch.
I've got one for you. And I'm going to Australia next month to go open for Luke Combs for a month, right? I'm wondering if I'm going to meet this man. There's a man in Australia with my face, one of my posters, very nicely detailed on his entire back.
Oh, wow.
Like Steve-O.
Yeah.
But you on him.
Yeah, it's me on a microphone going, wow. That's what I said. And I was like, bro, I don't love me that much.
You're probably going to meet that guy.
I
surely
kind of want to.
Surely he knows you're headed there. He knows your tour dates.
I'd be terrified
if he's got a poster of you on his back, he's got your tour dates.
I'd be terrified to know what he knew about you.
He might be the reason you're going. He might
have done the whole petition on his own.
Yeah.
To get you.
Yeah. What was the Sandra Bullock 911 call where that fan is in her house? Like, he might be the reason you're going, and he goes to all the shows.
Do you
Careful
think
out there, man?
Yeah. Thanks.
No, I'm just kidding. This guy's probably a badass dude. He's got good taste.
Yeah.
But I
don't know. I don't have, I've got feathers for, that's Groveton Indians where I went to school. I laughed about the C-Tex or whatever, but that's E-Tex, Native East Texas. Pines, my brand, my band logo, the Rockin' CJB, and the Teos Vaqueros. Then I've got my wife and kids. Everything has a little bit of a meaning for me.
Sure.
Now, Dustin Noblet, if he's listening to this, he's the CEO of Pro Equine, which owns Resistol.
Attaboy.
And he doesn't have one of these, so technically he doesn't live it every day.
Yeah.
I hope he hears this.
Yeah. Do you live it every day?
Ricky Bolin, the president, has one. Just throwing that out there.
I like Ricky.
Sticky Ricky.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I saw a picture of Ricky Bolin and Donnie Gay, outside the Coors Light van from back in the day, and I'm like, they were straight pimping, man.
Dang.
That was cool.
I would have liked to seen some vlogs, some YouTube videos from those days.
4-inch brim hats with the long hair and the little mustache. It was it was legit.
We all think that we're the first ones to be out there having fun because their pictures are in black
I would
and white.
not have wanted to watch those blogs or YouTube videos. That's probably career-ending stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, not for a bull rider. Yeah, maybe. It is a judged event. I mean,
I always said, the only reason I have a career is because cell phones weren't a thing whenever I was in a van and trailer.
Or like you said earlier, you might have a bigger one. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true, too.
At some point, you get big enough to where you can do those things. At a certain size, you just get canceled. You're not important enough to keep around to get in front of the people you need to be in front of.
Can I say the B word on here?
Yeah.
So, do you remember Blake Shelton when he used to do his Twitter thing?
That was the B word?
Yeah, I was about to say.
No. he would end every tweet with bitch. You didn't remember this?
No.
Oh, it was this was before he was big movie star, TV host icon. He was just a country artist. And he would get drunk and go to tweeting, and he'd be like, I'm drunk, anybody want to tweet me? And they would tweet him what's your favorite meal? And he was like, anything at your mom's house, ... bitch. and it was totally offensive, but people loved him for it. And I'm like, God, wow, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
It'd be more therapeutic.
Right.
No, I did not know that.
It was great. That was the only time I'd ever had social media. And then I filled out.
You did have Twitter in the early days.
I did. And so I just got off of it. So for the last 12 years, I have not looked at a single social media post. I don't watch the news. I don't watch cable or satellite TV.
Yeah. When
I do watch
when our song came out, our song.
Cowboy scale of 1 to 10.
Cowboy scale 1 to 10. Literally the greatest song that Cody Johnson has ever recorded. Cowboy scale 1 to 10. I was posting about it and putting. I would use the audio and reels and just doing what I thought would help promote the song, and And then somebody said something about posting. And they said you, and I was like, yeah, I doubt he's seen any of it because he doesn't get on there. Like because somebody was talking about tagging you in it. Because there was one I posted something about it and didn't tag you or something like that. And,
well, Brandy's always like, you have your own social media. Because I get TikToks. People send me stuff.
Right.
But I have like 20 group chats. Like my Maverick Brothers and the Taos Vaqueros, I have that group chat. I have group chats that are going hunts that Jeremy's been included in. And, like group chats from these different cowboys or whatever. And like I have them and they send stuff. And I'm like, well, that's all I need. Like they're my filters.
Yeah, and then you'll forward it to like me and Carson and we'll watch those videos.
Right.
Like, I'll get funny videos from you every once in a while. I'm like, where does he even get these from?
I just got it. I just got it. But like I wish like for the comedy aspect, I wish I had a TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I might like make one like totally 100% not Cody Johnson. Like that'd be the handle.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying?
No
Like
blue check.
100% not Cody Johnson.
and I just want
Are
comedy.
you in a group text with Trevor?
No.
I know you are.
But
No,
we've
you're not.
texted. We
Okay.
do text.
Brandy doesn't even have her own social media. She can't really criticize.
That's because, and I have no problem saying I know she's going to hear this, is because she'll go down the rabbit holes. That's why I don't do it, is because, like, okay, for instance, during 2021, after COVID and the whole George Floyd thing and all this stuff, I was on stage and I said a very patriotic speech about, like, unity. Like, it doesn't matter what color you are.
Right.
We should be unified. There's 3 colors that matter: red, white, and blue. Like,
Yeah.
we should be unified. Love your fellow man. You can agree to disagree. Like, it's part of being an American is you disagree. That's why we're not run by Hitler.
Right.
Because we can all disagree and it's still okay. Like, the world's not burning down.
Right.
And one of the first comments and I was just curious. I was like, you know, what are the comments like when I say stuff like that? And it was like, one of them was like, oh, just out the show tonight watching Cody Johnson be a racist on stage. And I was like, I was like so blown away and offended. I got mad. Well, 3 days later, I was still mad about it. And I'm like, this is not healthy. This is toxic for me. So I was like, I don't even look.
Yeah,
like,
it's
I don't
good
even
that you
look
don't.
at it.
It's good that you don't then. But we get so many
want to
good
just
comments.
do stuff, just random out of character stuff, and then just go hide in the corner and watch the comments. Like,
Right. Sometimes they're fun. We do enjoy. We've got some people that don't like our stuff, some people that do, and then some people that really do. And those are the ones that get really
I
interesting.
want to watch them go at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's better that I don't. That's funny. Speaking of that, I was doing the patriotic thing the other night, and my biggest thing, and I probably should copyright this, but my biggest thing that I've said, like, is love them anyway.
Uh-huh.
Like, if you disagree about politics, if you disagree about whatever it is, no matter your color, no matter your gender, no matter how much money you make, no matter what you believe, religiously, just love them anyway, because before we were born, there were American soldiers that gave their life for us to have the right to disagree.
You bet.
Like, it's okay. Nobody cares who you voted for. Like, everybody got real hot over Trump and Biden, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, nobody cares. Like, our grandfathers were scared to death to talk to each other about who they voted for.
Yeah.
That was fighting terms. Like, did you just ask me who I voted for? Like,
Right.
it's none of your business kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm giving this very, and you guys have seen my show. Like, I mean it. Like, I feel it. And that night was an emotional night. I was just feeling the energy from the crowd of, like, how much they were giving to me, how appreciative, how loud they were singing, how passionate they were. And I was like, a couple of times during the show, like, I teared up. I was like, I just want you guys to know, like, I love you. Like, thank you for giving me what you're giving me. Like, I live for this.
Yeah.
And as I'm doing this not political, but this positive take on this political thing, I look out in the crowd and there is one woman and she has both of her fingers in the air.
Dang.
Just boom. And she's got them up high and she is saying over and over, every time I say something, F you, F you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I kind of start watching and I'm getting distracted. And I'm thinking, like, man, she's just hammered. Like, there's nobody around her. She's not with
Right.
another woman. She's not with another guy. Like, she's just by herself.
Yeah.
And then I started looking and I'm like, her clothes don't match anybody else.
Yeah,
here.
she came with an agenda.
And that's what
Right.
that's when it hit me. I was like, you came to this show just to
to
do
be
that.
Yeah.
Just to do that.
Yeah.
And I came back to the talk back mic, enter Noe again. I'm like, get security over there and tell her I said, you bought the tickets. You knew what I was going to say.
For sure.
And I'm like, this is why I don't have social media. To the woman in the crowd tonight.
Like,
lawsuit.
Are you really that surprised? Like, she's not surprised. She just wanted controversy. But people should, I mean, like, you are a red-blooded cowboy American wearing a cowboy hat on stage.
Yeah.
And
and that's her way of being important that day.
But there,
the trolls are why I can't do the social thing.
See, I've kind of teetered back and forth, like, as to how much of, like, how deep into my message I need to go. Like, for instance, about my faith. It's not that I'm ashamed at all. You know, I talk about my faith on social media, but sometimes I wondered, like, how much do I need to respect the fact that God made me a comedian? I'll talk about my faith all day long, more even politics. But, like, how much do I need to respect the fact that God made me a comedian and you a country singer? Yes, exactly. I am their escape. Your music is their escape.
Okay.
But I'm asking. I'm not trying to tell you.
I struggled with this, and Pastor Randy Weaver of Lone Star Cowboy Church in Montgomery is the person that I kind of counseled. I did do therapy.
Mm-hmm.
I went to him and was like, I don't know if I should just, like, push that in my show because I'm not the best example.
Right.
From the outside looking in, yeah, you might think I am, but okay, we go to a Mexican restaurant. Say if we go to eat lunch after this, I'm going to order a margarita because I like Don Julio Añejo and Grand Marnier and fresh orange juice and fresh lime juice. Well, maybe you're a Christian that says, well, that's not very Christian, and now I don't like you.
Yeah.
Okay, if you start something with me that crosses the line aggressively, like, or towards my family or my guys, like, I'm not scared to fight at all, and I will fight. Like, I don't have a temper, and I'm not a wild card, but, like, you want to go, I'll go. Well, that's not very Christian, right? Working cows. What did I tell you from your post?
Cows doesn't count.
No, hey, he did the post that
The different cattle
calls. Like, sometimes you're the whistler, you know. Come on, girls. Oh no, that was different. The girls is the sweetheart.
Sweet talker.
Come on, girls. And then there's the growler, you know. Hey, hey. And then there's the the coach. Go right through that gate right there. Take a right, you know. You hit the oak tree, you've gone too far. And then there's the explicit. Well, I was like, dude, when I'm working cows, I go from whistler to explicit like that.
Yes.
Like, I had one get in my business yesterday, and I mean, I said things like, thank God my kids weren't there. But anyway, like, that's not very Christian. So I'm like, I went to Pastor Randy and was like, I don't feel like I'm that good of an example because I don't do everything right. And he was like, that's what makes you not only a human being, but it makes you a better Christian for saying that you believe anyway. Like, that this is what I believe, and I struggle, and I'm not perfect.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And neither are you, or neither are you, or neither are you.
Right.
And but we still try to be followers of Christ. And I was like, that makes a lot more sense. And, like, so then I incorporated it into my show. Like, this might be some wisdom I can pass your way, but, like, I was like, look, I probably am the most imperfect Christian in this room.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to give him the glory because that I know that his guidance has led me to here.
You bet.
You know, like, and I feel like I'm much more comfortable with it now.
So, like, when you were talking about trolls, Jeremy and I each read a book.
Love that movie.
But, like, one thing there's a book that addresses this part of the Corinthians where Paul is addressing the church in Corinth, and they were name dropping. The church was name dropping, like, I need to be the leader because Paul discipled me. I need to be the leader because Apollos discipled me. And Paul tells them, he said, do not boast in men. And then he says, I don't care what you think. I don't even care what I think. And he says, my conscience is clear, but that does not make me innocent. In Timothy, Paul says he is the chief of sinners. He's arguably top 5 most influential people in the history of
the world.
Man. And he calls himself the chief of sinners, but his conscience is clear.
Right.
He's saying, I'm not innocent, but my conscience is clear because in Romans 8:1 it says, there is now therefore no condemnation for those in Christ Jesus. So, like, when you come to be a Christian, you and God are good. Yeah. So, like, what Paul's saying is, like, I don't care about your opinion of me, whether it's good or bad. I don't even care about my opinion of me, whether it's good or bad. because me and God are good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Romans 8:1 says, there's now therefore no condemnation for those in Christ Jesus. If we're in Christ Jesus, me and God are good. What does it matter what a troll thinks? It doesn't even matter what we think. And that's the problem with a psychiatrist these days. They're going to tell you, it doesn't matter what they think. It only matters what you think. But what Paul is saying is that ain't right either.
Yeah.
It matters what God thinks. That's how I've tried to take trolls lately.
That's a good perspective to have.
And then not getting trapped in judging them. You know, how you know, that when we were reading that same book, it was talking about how, you know, God's going to judge you how you judge others. And I was like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
That
Dude,
made it make sense for me.
I've worked
you know?
on that too. Like, I've really worked on that too of like, I said this to Brandy the other day. We watched a movie that was called Best of Enemies. And it was about a former KKK leader that helped step down and made a friend with a black woman that helped integrate schools. It's a very, very moving. Sam Rockwell's one of my favorite actors while I watched it. But I was like, you know, and I told Brandy, I was like, it's so crazy to me. Like, I don't think race. Like, I just don't. I was like, I think about character. And that's where I'm the most judgmental is character. And she's like, well, you have to be careful of like judging people's character and their morality too, because all sin is equal in the eyes of God. And I'm like, oh,
yeah,
burn. Like, yeah, great. Thank you for that. But,
Yeah,
but
so
it's
yours is equal. So it
but
is
it's the truth.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it is the truth.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, that's an interesting perspective about the trolls. Like, at the end of the day, like, I feel like, I mean, there's plenty of things that I could work on.
Right.
There's plenty of struggles, but like, I'm good, you know, and I know that I'm good because I keep coming to him.
Right.
Like in my marriage, if Brandy and I have difficult times, at the end of the day, even if I blow off steam and I'm like, oh, I'm so mad and I'm right and she's wrong, at the end of the day, I wind up on my knees going, I need help. Like, I need you here.
That's a humbling moment.
Yeah. Well, and like, even like on the road, like I've walked into my back room 1,000,000 times on the bus and been like, I need help. Like, I need your strength. I need what I can't do on my own. I need you. So therefore it's like, I feel good. Like, I feel okay. I could always be better.
It's a good spot to be in.
It could always be better. I don't feel like we ever get to that place of like, oh, got it figured out, got it mastered.
Sure.
I mean, I hate to do a song plug here, but like my last single was Human. Like, I'm still constantly trying to figure out how to be human.
You bet.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's part of being human.
Man, I think when it feels so bad or when it gets to feeling so bad, it's because we think that it's possible to get to a certain point and it's all right. You know what I mean? Like, I figured it out.
Yep.
It's like you're never going to
made it to level expert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not there.
Yeah.
This ain't a video game.
Jeremy and I have been studying so intensely. It's the reason we were reading this book, Pride. And pride, like, everybody thinks that like the center of sins would be like sexual immorality or anything, but C.S. Lewis says it's actually pride, drunkenness, you know, all the other things are flea bites compared to pride, because like pride is what made the devil become the devil.
Pride causes all the other
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah, he makes a really good point over that.
And then the opposite of pride is humility. So pride is what made the devil, and humility is what made Jesus so great.
Yep.
And
I agree with that.
as much, you can never have more faith in Christ than you have humility.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Pop Star?
No.
Oh my God, he's the most arrogant pop star ever. And he's like, he makes a single. He's like, I'm the most humble person that there's ever been.
Yeah.
There's never been anybody more humble than me. I'm so humble, I could out humble you. And it's like, that's so great.
That's what Dale Brisby says. I'm the greatest bull rider of all time and the most humble.
And the most humble at the same time.
I should put it on the buckle. But I have been chasing that thought of humility. And anyhow,
man, you know, like, I've always said this too. I'm like, and I in real life, like me, Cody Johnson, the singer going on stage, I've always said this to my guys. I'm like, look, when we come in here and we're playing this festival, it's your job tonight to make sure that nobody else is remembered. We're here to dominate. We're here to be the best show. We're here to make people go, all the rest of those shows suck compared to Cody Johnson. However, these are our friends and our comrades. And if somebody's guitar breaks, you give it to them.
You bet.
If they have a problem with their soundboard, you help. You jump in and you try to make them. And I think that goes back to like that cowboy side of things.
For sure.
But that's also like a very humble
Absolutely.
outlook too of like, hey man, I'm going to hit the stage like I've never done this like these. I'm trying to win all these fans.
So that is such an interesting, because C.S. Lewis also said that pride is competitive. So all
That's
pride is competition. However, not all competition is pride.
Right.
So like it's not a sin to play football and want to beat the other team. It's not a sin to want to be the best show in town. However, like all pride is competition. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And so like that to me is you guys wanting to be the best, but then the humble part of that is being willing to like, here's my guitar
You
for
can
the
have
next
it.
show. This is my personal guitar.
For sure.
Yeah.
And if you play better on it, then so be it.
It's okay to want to ride the Rankins
Correct.
Bucking Horse the best.
Absolutely.
It's not okay to want to win the rodeo so bad that you tell someone else the wrong rein.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
That would
doesn't
be
make you any better.
That's a great way to
It
put
doesn't
it.
make you the best because you were the best. It makes you you just wanted to win bad enough to cheat somebody else. You know what I mean? Or take
That's a
something
good
else
point.
away.
That's a good point. We're trying to figure it out over here.
Well, like we're talking about competition, and like being a competitive person, being a high level person, you know, we all have some, you know, tie to rodeo. Like you are actively team roping at this point, you know. Now, could you go be more competitive and better at team roping than you currently are? Yeah, absolutely. But you're not going to go compete on the level of, you know, Colby or Trevor or one of those guys and go play 100 shows a year. You
Right.
have to dedicate to that one thing. You know what I mean?
I truthfully believe that if I didn't play shows, like if I could have one full year with the men that I've placed around me to make me better at team roping, Colby Lovell, Carson Seago, you know, my buddy Lucas Faulkner, like these guys are good. I could call Trevor.
Yeah.
And Trevor would pick up the phone and help me any way. If I had a year to prepare, I truthfully believe, and Luke Branquino and I have had this conversation. I was like, I just always wanted to, like, what if I could just let's start with making the circuit finals.
Yeah.
I know that I can.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that right now I've got the horsepower, let alone what I could acquire. And I know that I have the dedication. I know that I have the talent and the drive, but it would have to take away from music, and I can't do that.
The principles of success are the same.
Right.
It doesn't matter what we do.
Right.
Right. So when you can dedicate something, you already know if I apply these principles to anything, I can be successful.
Yeah.
And it makes it hard, or it can make it hard to do other things. You know what I mean? So like, one thing is like, hey, I really enjoy doing this. I'm going to do it, you know, but it's like, you know, at a high enough, you know, you're both working at a really high level at something other than that, you know, but you really enjoy doing that.
It makes me, there's nothing I hate to hear in the rope and pin. There's nothing I hate more than, hey, man, remember, it's just a hobby.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I
Yeah.
want to start screaming cuss words.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is real. Like, it's not a hobby. Like, I want to be the best. And it makes me angry that I don't have the time to do it more because I love it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right.
I want to be good at it. Like, I don't care if we're playing hopscotch.
Yeah.
Like, I want to win the hopscotch game.
Yeah. I think so. Like when we started going down the Pride Road, I started wrestling like I didn't want, because I think you can lean into pride so much and use it to your advantage
Yeah.
in the short term. Like, for it to push you, you know, because you don't like a certain person that you want to be better than, which isn't a great motivation, but it would work to make you
You have
better
to be able
in
to
the
turn the
short
switch
term.
on and turn the switch off.
Yeah.
As long
And
as you can
then-
still turn the switch off, I think you're good.
Right. Colossians 3:23 says, work at everything as if for the Lord. And I think that's a good motivation to, like, it's like, rather than I want to be good at bronc riding just so I beat Jeremy Ray Melanson, it's like, I want to be the best bronc rider that God created me to be.
Yeah.
For him is I think a special outlook on it. But as far as like, but I think we're talking about something maybe a little different. Even.
No, like music. I don't read music. I don't know how to read score. I don't know how to read charts. I don't know half the stuff that I actually play. I don't know theory. I don't know anything about music. What I was born with was 100% God-given.
Right.
Because I've sat in the room with people that went to college for a long time to try to figure out how to hear what I hear, and they can't.
Yeah.
So therefore, like, to what you're saying, I'm like, I know God gave me this.
Yeah.
I didn't create it. I wasn't taught it. Man didn't give it to me. So therefore, it's my job to be the very best that I can be with him to glorify him for what he created.
That's it.
That's it.
Speaking of,
But then when you get really good at something, and you get used to winning,
Yeah.
you're like, I want to win it. Everything.
right.
Yeah. Winning never gets old.
Joe Beaver, winners win, man. I asked him, I was like, dude, Joe, I was like, it's getting so hard. I can't go to eat. You know, like this fame thing is just, I didn't sign up for fame, man. And he goes, Cody, winning comes with winning, and winners win. Yeah. And I was like, okay, thanks, Joe.
I bet you're, so I heard Cowboy Cerrone on a podcast say recently, Cam Haynes asked him if he minded taking pictures. And he said, not at all, because one day they won't want them.
You know what I tell people? They're like, is this your least favorite part in the meet and greet? And I'm like, no, you know the opposite of people wanting to take a picture with you? Nobody wants to take a picture with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you wanted this, Cody.
Absolutely.
It's a very fine line. And, you know, it's like I watch people in my business. There's a lot of pride in my business. And I mean, like, real pride. Like, not like I want to be the best here. Like, I truly believe I'm the best there ever was.
Right.
And I'm like, I can't do that. Like, whenever I wonder with myself, like, man, am I being too prideful? I get around certain artists, and I'm like, oh, no. Like, I'm the furthest thing from that.
Like
that
I'm all right still.
Well, then you said you have those moments in the bus where you say, I need you.
Yeah. Like, I can't do this on my own.
Exactly.
Everybody thinks, you know, that I'm sure that, you know, Trevor Brazil's talked about his faith. One of the greatest things I've ever heard him say was, like, whenever he retired, he was like, I was wondering if I was going to have the spiritual and mental fortitude enough to accept that I'm retiring. And he's like, and I have now. And I'm like, that was very profound. That proves that even the greatest cowboy of all time didn't do it on his own.
Second. Just saying. I'm a little mad because he hi-hatted me earlier this week.
Did he really?
He called me later. I was going to do a podcast with him this week also.
You should have had me and him on.
And I texted him, and then
yeah,
2 days later.
I didn't mean it towards you.
Uh-huh. I mean, 3 microphones.
I mean, also, we can't afford another microphone.
We do. I have 4. But he called me 2 days later, and I was like, "Well, I'm going to do Mark Luttrell and Cody Johnson." And he was like, "Name drop," and I was like, "All these kids keep telling me I ain't no cowboy at the booth. It hurts my feelings. I got a name drop." But anyway, you were talking about his fate.
I would just say, like, I don't know this, but I would be willing to bet the ranch that a few times in his career he's wound up in the back of his trailer going, God, I need some help.
Yeah.
You know, and I just know that. It's easy to see.
Yeah.
I will say one thing. Trevor can call me out if he wants, but I feel like I influenced him a little bit recently.
How so?
Started wearing a Rolex while I'd go to the team ropings. And then I saw Trevor, and I mentioned, I was like, we were at a deal one night for the NFR, and I was like, what is that? And he's like, oh, it's a Submariner, you know, 2-tone. And I was like, oh, it's kind of like this Sea Dweller, but this one's bigger, you know. And I was just joking. So the next time I roped with Trevor at the Riata Buckle, he was wearing a Rolex while he was roping. And then I started seeing pictures of him roping in a Rolex. So I don't know if I'm wrong, but I feel like, I'm not trying to be prideful, Trev, but I feel like I kind of got you there.
Yeah, we'll let him respond when he
does. It would be
does.
really awesome if he says yes. If he says no, then
he's a liar.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just had like 4 questions. It's kind of like your lyrics thing. But you were talking about God-given ability to sing. I have that.
To sing?
Yes.
I heard you on that. My rifle, my podium. Hey, can I tell you?
No. I'm talking about something different.
No, I'm talking about your video of the cattle calls. Like the different cattle calls when you sang My Rifle, My Pony and Me.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what Clara said? She goes, Dad, I love Dale. I think he's great, but can I know if he's not a good singer?
Then Okay, then when I recorded my
really singing.
when I recorded my my part on
Cowboy
scale of 1 to 10, it kept going, and I had Josh just keep recording, and I was in the booth and I sang the lyric. I was like, "We'll send
Where's
it
this
to."
at?
Please don't find it because it was terrible.
Oh,
it was
I
the
need this.
worst
I
thing
need
you've
this.
ever heard. It was like a bad American Idol. And because it was weird.
And what was it?
Because I was in the booth.
Cowboy scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah, but what?
He
After
did
your
the
part.
And then he
You kept singing that song.
Yeah. But I was like trying to listen because in the booth, it's not like you're at the concert or in the shower.
Yeah.
And so I was like thinking, and it was a new song. And so like, I didn't really know it all by heart yet. Like I knew the gist of it, and like it wasn't recorded yet. We were recording it. And anyway, it was so bad. It was so bad.
Let me tell you who else has got some God-given talent is Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Fool was a rapper, man. Like he rapped. I mean, he was a felon, went to prison. Like he was in thug life, right? And not the movie Thug Life, but he was living a thug's life.
Yeah, he was living it, not just a
He wasn't
movie.
playing it.
Like
He was living it.
he was just a rapper, and then he sang in front of somebody one day, and they were like, "You're a pretty good singer," and he's like, "I don't know how to sing," and then this guy was like, "Hey, you should think about singing." He's like, "I ain't no singer, man," and he just sings. So like, I just had him on. We just recorded a song.
Really?
We just became buddies, man, because like behind closed doors, like he ain't nothing but a cut up, and neither am I.
Right.
It's like we just kind of bonded. Like it's funny. He's like, I think it's hilarious, man. People see us out having a drink or just chilling and face tattoos and the
hilarious.
cowboy
Yeah,
hat getting
I was
along.
about to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're total opposites.
Well, he came to your ACM party. That
Yeah,
year.
just a cool dude, man.
That's
And
awesome.
So I was like, I got this song I want you to be on my new album. My new album comes out this year. It's called Leather.
Plug.
I'm going to plug this too. We're releasing our new single. It's called The Painter. And there's a lot happening this year. Like it's a deluxe 24-track record. And there's a song.
24.
Yeah. So like the double album, but like more doubler.
Yeah. We thought 18 songs was a bunch.
No,
Yeah.
we're coming with 24 now. So I had this song called Jesus Loves You, and it's about a man going to prison, and it's like, I knew he kind of related to that, and I was like, I sent it to him, and he's like, man, I love this song. He's like, I've never heard it from this perspective. It's a really dark, kind of cool song, got a little rock vibe to it. I'll sing whatever you want. And I was like, well, check this song out. Like, we just recorded this today, and it's a song called Whiskey Bent. And I hated that song the first time it got pitched to me before I ever heard it because the title is called Whiskey Bent. Like,
Yeah.
It sounds like a stupid song. And it does. And
I love your honesty.
Books and covers.
it sounds like a stupid song. But the hook line is, I'm still trying to straighten up what whiskey bent.
Oh,
that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like, it made me say some things I shouldn't, made me break some things I wouldn't, like the heart that you kept putting in my hand. It's got me picking up the pieces, got me back in touch with Jesus for some grace in case one of y'all comes back again.
Yeah.
I'll just be trying to straighten up what whiskey bent. And he
Dang.
related to this song. And he's like, bro, he calls me, he's like, I'm in tears right now.
That's awesome.
He's like, my wife hates everything, and she's in tears. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, well, come sing on that one. He's like, well, I
Yeah.
thought you wanted me. I was like, just come sing on it. So we go to Nashville. He hops in and he only heard the song the day before. It came in and nailed it, dude.
Wow.
Like 5 takes and nailed it.
Wow.
And then came out and was like, man, is that good? Like, is that good? Like, is that okay? I'm like, yeah, bro, it's great.
That's awesome.
Man, I just ain't no singer. You tell me if I need to correct something. Like, no, you're good. Like, it was great. And so I was
That's
like,
cool.
that's pretty. You talking about like, it has to be God given because like he
Right.
heard it that day or
Yeah.
the day before.
See, maybe that's what I would like. A normal person, you're saying, would need more time. Maybe that's
Yeah.
all my deal was.
Yeah,
You just
Donnie
needed a little more
4
time.
takes.
Donnie and Josh Serrato lost it. See, they weren't thinking God-given talent. They were thinking blackmail. We're going to use this.
They were thinking blackmail.
Dude, it was so bad. I've got so much respect for you. Like in that moment, like I mean, my respect level for you was pretty high, but like in that moment, I was like, that damn Cody Johnson is a child prodigy or
This
something.
job that he does every day seems a lot harder than it looks like when we just
You know
see him
who
on
makes
stage.
me intimidated to sing around? Randy Hauser.
Really?
Yeah, man. Like he doesn't even smoke good cigarettes. He smokes like American Spirit, like the yellow and red
yeah.
pack. Like they're like probably like they'll pay you 99 cents to take them, kind of thing. He smokes
Blake
Americans,
Shelton would be interested.
dude, all day long, and then gets up there and just blows me out of the water. And I'm like, I don't know how you do. If I smoked a puff off a cigarette, I'd have an allergy attack and wouldn't be able to sing for 3 weeks.
He's just leaning into it. He wants that voice.
He's got that, dude. He's got that thing. Like, man, he sings, and I'm like totally intimidated. And I don't really get intimidated by anybody that sings.
What about the energy you have on stage? Because last weekend I was at a Kid Rock concert, and he did a great job. And the only other person I know that has that kind of energy is you. Like
So-
both of y'all, it was everybody was talking about like how good of a show it was. I was like, y'all need to go see Cody Johnson.
This is interesting. So about, I don't know, a month, doesn't matter, some time ago, Brandy shows me a video. She's like, hey, I want you to watch this. And I was like, what is it? And she goes, it's Chris Ledoux live in Casey, Wyoming. And I was like, do you know that I've never watched a single video of Chris Ledoux live? She goes, I know this.
This was the other day.
Nobody really knows this about me. I've always listened to Chris's music. I've always listened to his interviews. I've always, I've read parts of the book. I think I've read the entire book. Just it was over time. Like I didn't read it in a year.
You bet.
And it's one of those things you just pick back up.
But it's not because you can't read.
It's not because I can't read.
Right.
I can read.
For sure.
And but I never watched him live for fear of being totally influenced by him. The same way that, like, okay, I watched Garth Brooks growing up, and there's a lot about Garth Brooks on stage that I don't like, but there was enough of him that I went, I want to be that cool.
Yeah.
I want to look like that.
Yeah.
But I can't look like that. I got to look, I can't look just like that. Same way Elvis Presley. I'm like, I want to be that.
Yeah.
But I can't swing my hips like that. George Strait. I want to be that.
For sure.
But I can't stand in one spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He pulls it off.
But I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? Willie Nelson. I can't do pigtails.
For sure.
I can't smoke pot out and be Willie Nelson, right?
I mean, who trusts anybody with long hair?
They would if you had
Only if it's a
pigtails.
wig.
Maybe. Yeah.
But like all these artists that have influenced me over the years, I'm like, I want a little piece of everybody. Glenn Campbell, Merle Haggard, even Reba. Like I was very influenced by Reba's a bad son of a gun,
Right.
But like when it came to Chris Ledoux, I was so emphatic about him that I was like, I don't want to watch it.
I like it
'Cause
too
then
much.
Well, then I might do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brandy recently says, I want you to watch it for the first time. And it blew my freaking mind.
That's awesome.
It's me. I do that. I do 85% of what Chris Ledoux does on stage. I do it, from facial expressions, from the way the feet movement are, to the guitar, to everything.
That's cool.
Wow.
And I was like, how?
Yeah.
And so I just recently played a show in Colorado with Ned Ledoux, his
Right.
son.
Yep.
And I was like, Ned, this happened to me. And he goes, oh. He said, I thought you'd watch Dad your whole life. And I was like,
Dang.
no.
That's cool.
He goes, no. He's like, you do it better than I do it. And I'm like, I didn't know. Like, I don't know how something like that happens. It was very interesting to me.
That's crazy. Yeah. The first or second song that Kid Rock did that night, the way he jumped, I was like, oh my gosh, that's COJO. And just the energy that he had.
Have you ever
and
seen
you have.
Kid Rock at Woodstock 99?
No.
Bro, there's a show called Trainwreck
Yeah.
about Woodstock 99 because
Which
it was a
is-
riot. It's a great show in
It
itself.
is a great show. Like
Yeah.
it's insane what they let happen.
It was a war zone by the time it was through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before it turned into complete mayhem, Kid Rock's entrance onto stage,
Yeah.
bro, it's like a 3-minute vamp before he even thinks about walking out on stage. Like, y'all will wait.
Yeah.
This fool walks out, diamond rings, diamond chains, full white mink coat. It's hot.
Yeah.
You know you're a bad son of a gun when it's 100 degrees outside and be like, I'm going to wear my mink coat. He walks out in his mink coat. Somebody takes it off for him.
Right.
Takes his rings from him and his cane and his hat. Now he's in a wife beater. And he grabs his microphone and he goes, my name is Cat.
Yeah.
And when he jumped, the place goes insane. And I was like, well, that's definitely more energy than I put out in my show. Like, I don't have a white mink coat.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty baller.
Yeah. Yeah.
I appreciate the compliment, but nobody outkids the kid, man.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but making it your own, because you think about like the influences and things like that. And it's like, Garth Brooks was known for a lot of energy, but then George Strait was known for a lot of class and actually being a cowboy and stuff like that. So putting that energy and that class together is pretty cool. It's different.
Well, I've always thought to myself, you wouldn't have cowboy in America without George Strait bringing it back, in my opinion.
Right.
Just saying. So in that aspect, there's that, like you said, that's like the class thing. So I'm like, well, I'm never going to be as cowboy as Chris Ledoux.
Yeah.
I'm never going to have I won't say never. Be careful what you declare.
Right.
It's not in my cards right now, but he's a gold buckle.
Right.
I don't see myself there, but I can see myself being more rodeo involved than George was. But Garth didn't rodeo, but he represented it well. He sang cowboy songs. George didn't move around on stage. Garth did. Find who you want to be in the middle of all of it. And that's a problem I have a lot with. I have to be very careful about who I bring out on the road to open. Because certain guys and gals have sat with a pen and a paper over the course of about 18 shows and sat their side stage. And then when you watch their show, it's my show.
Yeah.
And I'm going, no.
Yeah.
I hope I inspire you, but be you.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like Kevin Fowler was one of the biggest influences on me growing up. Kevin Fowler, you could go watch in a bar like Shenanigans here in Huntsville, and it was 2,500 people, and it was a country redneck rock show.
Yeah.
But he walked around with his microphone and his mic stand in his hand like this, And I'm like, well, if I did that, I'd be just like Kevin. But I want his energy. Corey Morrow, huge influence on me. He jumped around barefooted on stage. Well, I'm not going to jump around barefooted, but I like the way he moves.
You bet.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. You got to find how to let things positively influence you without being a copycat in my business.
Yeah. You got to definitely walk your own path.
Or your Garth Light.
Because also you could
And that wasn't even a Bud Light joke. I just thought about that. Sorry, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole.
We can.
Probably not going to watch it.
I was thinking about that earlier when we were talking about going down the road and rodeoing and all the things. I try to talk to my interns about it because it's something that I had to realize too. But especially because I get some guys in there that they're getting started a little later in rodeo, and because to be an intern you got to be 21, so that means I'll have a 23, 24-year-old show up and want to learn how to ride bulls, and getting started at 24. Late. Right, correct.
That's late.
And so now they're looking at Stetson Wright at that age and 5 gold buckle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They start comparing themselves, and I got to have that
conversation. He's been doing that since he came out of the wound.
You got to realize this is your path. This is your rodeo career. And maybe your rodeo career is from 24 to 29, you learn the ropes, and at 30 you win a go round in the second round at the NFR, and that's your story. You're not living Stetson's story or whatever young cowboy there is. But I could see how the same thing would happen in music. You want to draw from George and all these people, but you're not living their story.
Well, you can't compare either. You can't compare either. Why am I not playing that gig?
Right.
Because I'll be honest with you, and I would say this out loud, first time I've ever said it out loud. I struggled for a while with Luke Combs, who's become a good friend of mine. And he's taken me to Australia. He's taken me a lot of places to go play. He's opened a lot of doors for me. And we get along great, man. He loves college football. I don't. He wears Columbia. I wear Wrangler. We don't really have a lot in common, except for that we just both really respect the hell out of each other. But I've wondered, I struggled for a while. Why is he headlining stadiums and I'm not?
Yeah.
I've been doing this 15 years. Why?
Yeah.
How come he just had 16 consecutive number ones on radio and I got one?
Right.
Why? And but whoa, that's that road you don't want to go down, because then you compare
Pride Road.
To circle back to what you were saying earlier, you don't compare, because then it's going to bleed over. You start, then that's the grass is greener syndrome, and you forget about what you have.
You bet.
You could do that in your marriage if you want to. Well, my wife is not like that wife over there. That's a slippery slope right there.
You bet.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to be compared. You have to be careful in the music business, I think, especially because there's so much pride involved. Not to compare. Just be happy with what you've got. Being happy with where you're at is what got me to where I'm at. I was fine when we were playing in Texas. I was fine when we were in a van and trailer. So why are we going to get upset now? We got 3 buses and we're playing basketball arenas things are okay.
Right.
Like,
it's like you enjoyed it back then, but you're not going to enjoy it now because you're not to that spot. It's like, wait, but we're so much fun. Like, it's still enjoyable.
Exactly.
Do you get to take your girls to Australia?
No, and I said no because we're going to like play 3 nights in a row, get on a train and go play 3 nights in a row, and then get on a plane and then go play 3 nights in a row. And it's like, it's going to be work. And I was like I told Brandy, I was like, if you guys want to come to Australia next year, let's just go to Australia. Like I'm playing 65 shows next year. Like, let's go over there and spend 4 days here and 4 days there and 4 days there, and you'll see it all.
Also, crocodiles.
Oh, dude, I'm going to get a Uber to, was it P32 Sherman Wallaby Way, Sydney?
Oh, is
Finding Dory?
yeah, is that where Nemo was at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know.
You want to go find the fish?
I mean,
I want to see that.
I've
I'm
been
just saying.
You need to. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Last podcast.
there?
I'm not going to spoil it for you. Last podcast, we had Jake Zielke. He's the Lost Cowboy. He cowboyed on 6 continents.
Mm-hmm.
He said in Australia, he was telling us some stories about it, but he witnessed crocodiles pulling yearlings into the water.
Okay. Totally random. You
That's
ever
all
heard of Anouk Krantz, the photographer and author?
No.
She has several books, like tabletop books that are like this thick, big books of photography and her life experiences. It's called The American Cowboy. You should definitely check it out. Anouk Krantz. If you're listening to this, go check her out. It's spelled funny, but if you talk it into your phone, it'll bring it up anyway. Trust me, I can't spell her name.
and you acted like you were typing her
but
name. I
you
was like,
can
know
spell.
You voice to text.
Oh, yeah.
You can't spell her name, but you can spell.
Yeah, I can.
And
I
you
do
can
read.
read.
Yeah.
I can
Got
read.
you.
It's just, but I can't read Anouk Krantz.
It's hard.
I'm a fan of her work, and she flew in to see one of my shows. Contacted Howie, my manager, says, want to come out to the show. So she comes out, and I'm like, not fangirling, but I'm like, I'm excited to meet this woman.
You bet.
And she's 6-7 years older than we are, and she has a husband, she has kids, and she keeps this career going. So I'm very interested, and I kind of like, I was like, I feel like I'm interviewing you.
Yeah.
She's like, well, you kind of are. And I'm like, well, you're just so interesting. Like, how do you do this? And she's like, well, I have the same questions for you. Like, how are you pulling this off with your wife and kids and all this and blah, blah, blah. So long story short, the reason I thought about this from crocodiles is she goes, right now I'm doing a study on cowboys, the way people, the American rancher and the cowboy, how they do it in other places. She's like, so I just got back from Brazil. And I was like, really? And maybe it wouldn't, hold on. Maybe it wasn't Brazil. Wherever the Congo River is.
Isn't that South America? I thought that was
South America.
Is it?
Okay. She shows me a video of her and these cowboys within the river moving Brahman cattle up to their freaking bellies in this river, and they're videoing with a drone, and she's riding and her horse is stumbling and the water's coming up to her waist and the horse is, swimming and she's having to hang on the saddle horn. And right over there are crocodiles trailing this herd. And I said, ma'am, you are 100% more cowboy than I will ever. I will ever be.
No thanks.
I will ride a black tornado across the way. You want me to move?
that.
You want me to move cattle through a river where crocodiles are hiding underneath it?
They ain't even hiding. They don't even have to hide.
Yeah, they're just out there, just like I wish y'all would. No,
Yeah.
no,
Pass.
hard pass. Not happening.
Yeah.
I was very intimidated by that woman.
But I'll noodle. Would you noodle? Have you seen my videos?
Like catfish noodle?
Noodles.
No.
Have you seen mine though?
But here's my thing. How do you know what's at the bottom of the hole?
Jeff Barron. He's our guide. Hannah Barron. They take us. They're
I have not
boxes.
seen this video.
In Alabama, they're boxes. A little smaller than
No,
this
I'm
table.
talking about like Lake Livingston, find a hole, stick your arm
You
down
can't
it.
use boxes in Texas, so you do have to kind of. But if it doesn't have oxygen in it, they say if the box doesn't have oxygen in it, then snakes and turtles won't be in there because they got to come up.
I want
'Cause they gotta-
scientific
people
facts.
say
Now I've
People
heard
saying.
of like a fish big enough that it could drag you down, and guys almost dying, and some people do die. But if you go in a box, like it can only be so. It's not gonna be bigger than the box, obviously.
Yeah.
Let's talk about bugaboos because like
What you got for a bug?
I'm just saying like I like right
Doodling.
now if we had enough people like that I felt like I needed to prove something, like I'm not scared to get on a bull.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like things don't scare me. Like situations where I've been in where people are dying, it doesn't scare me. Fighting, violence doesn't scare me. I actually think more clearly whenever there's violence going on. Like I just center up. Things don't scare me. But I'm not sticking my hand in a hole in a lake or my foot.
Sounds like you're scared to me.
That scares me.
Sounds like scared. I bet you would have been a good operator, like
a surgeon.
No, like a
phone operator,
like a
party line,
Navy SEAL operator. I was thinking of Chris Kyle
I was
because
I would have had to have learned to read to become.
I was thinking
of
Chris Kyle because he was in your documentary, but like a Navy SEAL operator.
I've had several military friends of mine that were like, "You would have been a good team guy."
Just
like
thinking about, especially thinking about your time in
you focus
prison.
well when things are going wrong. That's what I'm saying. Like it's weird what scares me. Like that scares me. Like I would ride a bull. I would not get on a bareback horse.
I feel
ever in my life, or steer wrestle.
Every good,
I would not do it.
Not good. Every man probably thinks, what would I do in those situations? War story type stuff. But a prison guard would maybe be the closest thing to like that, where it's a war zone. Where like, no, I know what I would do because in this prison where these people, like that would be the closest thing. Because like riding a bull, like I was at the Danny Dietz deal and DJ Shipley was there and he was like, man, there's so many similarities. And he was talking about riding a bull because he said, when I go into a room, 95% of them are benign. So I Googled what benign meant, and he meant, but he said, when y'all nod, when y'all nod your head, every single time there's a fight. And then you have to overcome your emotions and execute the fundamentals of lifting on a bronc crane, going to the front on a bull.
Yeah, but you know it's going to be a fight.
You know what it's going to be.
But every time it's a fight. Matter of fact, if they don't, they give us another one. It's called a re-ride.
Yeah. That's funny you say that. I hung my finger up in a dally the other night.
Oh, wow.
A couple weeks ago. Pretty bad. Like to the point where I thought I popped it off. I was healing. I'm trying to learn how to heal instead of heading. And it hit me hard enough that it almost made me pass out. And I was like, why did that almost make me pass out? But yet, like, I've been just camped out on and stomped, and I was perfectly fine. And it was like, but you knew that was going to happen.
Right.
This, I was just having it's a great day. Oh, God.
Well, that's like, I don't know, like, you and I, Jeremy and Dale, have rodeo to think about. And you have rodeo, too. But then you also had that other thing in your life where in that conversation with that SEAL where it's just like you have that prison guard thing.
Like
I'm not trying to bring that up.
It's called the what if game.
Right. I'm not trying to.
Do you ever play the what if game ever?
Oh my gosh!
I mean, occasionally.
He is the pro at the what if game.
He does.
Yes, he.
Dude, like every restaurant
takes it deep.
What happened? What would happen right now? Like if we were.
Oh, that one. Yes.
And this happens.
Somebody comes in. I'm always the hero, by the way, in my what if games. I don't know about y'all, but like
in their own game.
I am
to be the hero in your what if game.
I don't know if this buckle is proof enough. But Dale Brisby is the hero. Like, what does he say? Like in that analogy on The Office, he's like, it's kind of like Beyonce. He's like, I am Beyonce always. Every analogy.
No, like in my house, like there are weapons put in certain spot.
Attaboy.
And Brandy's like, why do you have that there? Like, because if at this moment, from this entry point, this happened, then you could get to this. But if it was at this entry point, you could backpedal and you could get to this. If you were at this entry point or this was breached, and she's like, when do you think about this? I'm like, every guy. I'm trying to sleep.
He's like,
welcome to being a man.
Yeah.
I played the what if game the other night.
I was up till 3.
I ain't saying I lost, but he was close. All right, so I needed to move it. I needed to move it just a little bit. I was reaching for that dresser. I'm still the hero, but I had to scoot it.
I'm the hero because I found the flaw.
I'm not saying I lost.
But I'm saying the trigger was real hard to pull.
Yeah,
I had to fall back.
Right.
It's the truth though.
I always have to use like 2 hands in the dream to get the trigger to pull. Like I'm good.
Dude, in the dream, it's that way.
I'm good, but I just when it's like, oh, it's time, and then I'm like, oh, need the other one. Nah, so
That's
maybe
hilarious.
I need to lighten up my trigger pulls a little bit. I don't know,
but I feel like you probably have the closest thing to like, you would have been a good one.
What is like your like? Okay, for instance, Carson, who's sitting off camera, he's a tough sonbuck, man. Like he's pretty stout. Like I want Carson behind me in a good fight.
Yeah.
I had a body friend.
If you walked in here right now and you threw a frog at him, he would freak out.
Really?
Yeah, like death, like afraid of frogs. Not like I don't like them. Like he's afraid of frogs.
Yeah.
Like so afraid.
So if a bunch of frogs get after you, he's out.
Yeah, like you can count him out. Like, and he's so afraid of them that like I haven't even gone there. Like I haven't even played the joke because I'm afraid like I'll get my ass whipped.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be that bad, and I'm like, well, that's his deal.
Don't play
like,
with frogs, man.
Yeah.
But everybody has those things. Like, what is yours? Like,
Oh, what is mine?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mine would probably be stuff in the water. Yeah, like sharks and stuff,
Yeah,
crocs.
like, see, I think about that like when we've gone to Gulf Shores and like you and Sullivan will take out, and they're out there like
On
they're
those
so
little
far.
kayak
Yeah, they're
games?
like so far out there, or like a
Dude.
paddle board or boogie board. They're out there on boogie boards. So like the boogie
They're
board's this
swimming.
big, you're this big. You got your little
No, thank
little
you.
fins hanging off the back, and there's like I need binoculars to see them, and I'm like, there are sharks circling them right now.
No, yeah, that's exactly what goes through my head.
Yeah, I'm like, I freak out. I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
It don't bother you at all.
The water like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not really. It bothers Carly bad. Like she don't like
Again,
to be out in
similar
there.
personalities.
Similar
That's what I'm
personalities.
saying.
But no, but I grew up at the beach. Like me and my mom lived in a beach house when I was real young.
You like wade fishing too, don't you?
Yeah.
That was bragging.
You know, it'd be
King.
a great idea.
We had
Let's go
plywood
stand in
floors.
waist deep water and attached bait to us.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're a lure.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens, right?
I know.
But
That's why I'm like,
know.
I can't.
I mean, sharks, they're kind of one thing, right? They're going to grab your stringer. I mean, I'm not saying people don't get attacked by sharks, but
I don't like nothing I can't
alligators,
see. Gator.
that's extra right there, man.
Yeah.
Like, but then again,
That'd be a terrible
You
way
know,
to go.
alligators like Lake Livingston is full of alligators, right?
I
But it's
know.
like, yeah, but we're not really going to get attacked by an alligator swimming out on the end
Are
of the dock.
you?
See, like really.
But
well,
are you?
That's true.
So it's in the middle of the
What about
open
snakes?
water.
Snakes scare you? Because snakes don't bother me. Like they just don't bother me.
I mean, I'm not.
I don't mind him when I can see him. I think if you didn't know he was.
So like I was picking. There was a pile of cedar posts in front of this barn that me and Sterling and Carly were working on building, right? And I had to move this pile of cedar posts. So the first few, I'm being real careful. But it's a pile. I'm tired at the end of it, you know.
Yeah.
So you check the top where there's
Just
no
make a
stakes,
bunch
but
of
by-
noise
But
and
by
then-
at the end of it, you're like,
For sure.
someone would have left, you know.
Yeah.
And like the third one from the end, I picked it up, and there's a copperhead under it. So it's a startle, right? Like you pick it up, I'm gonna jump back.
That's me.
Then Carly called me she just looked at me, jump back, cut its head off with the shovel she already had in her hand,
That don't
shook
surprise
her
me.
head, called me a woman, went right back to work.
That's a South Texas cowgirl. She's from South. That's George West, baby.
yeah. That's
Donnie won that rodeo this year, by the way.
Ooh, nice.
That's right.
I once unloaded 17 rounds out of a 9mm magazine at a copperhead and never
Attaboy.
hit it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It laughed at me. I heard it laugh.
So I
And
need
then
to
it
go
slid it
back
off.
on the military comment I made about you.
No, dude. I was bow hunting. I'm out bow hunting by myself in the middle of 2,500 acres. I shoot this pig. She goes off in this little hole in this, it's like tight yopon where they've got the little holes cut down at the bottom. So I get down, I'm looking, and I'm like, I can hear her dying in there. I'm like, I'm just gonna crawl through there.
You were with Colby.
No, this is just I was out by myself. This was a long time ago. And so I start crawling through this hole, and it's only big enough to bear crawl through. And I get to where the hole in the yopon kind of takes a fork, and I'm trying to figure out whether she went right or left. And so I'm like looking for blood, and I can hear her in there, and she's probably 150, 200 pounds. And there's this tree closer than the camera. And I look down, and there's probably about a 2-foot copperhead, and he'd already got a bead on me and had it, and was ready to just pull the trigger.
Dang.
And I froze, and I pulled my 9mm from here to there, and I unloaded 17 rounds as I was backing up, and he slithered off going, dang. I was like, gosh, dang, like that snake had me rattled. Maybe I am.
Those were
scared of
warning
snakes.
shots, buddy. Next time I'm gonna mean it.
Yeah, next time I'm gonna break out the bullets that'll hit you. I don't know about the bugaboos. The water thing. The water thing is pretty freaky. I don't like the water.
Yeah, I don't know. So my mom started, she bought her all this scuba gear and signed up for this scuba diving lesson, right? And she was all in it. And they went in the pool, and she did all the things. She's, top of the class, right? They plan on going out to the Blue Lagoon and actually going in the water, and she starts thinking about it, and she said, "No, I'm not coming." That was, the pool thing was, I get it now. I'm out. And I thought about that, and I was like, that would probably scare me. Like, I thought in the back of my head that I was like, oh, yeah, I could scuba dive. I could learn how to do that. That'd be great. Maybe I'll do that one day. But then when I really got to thinking about it, I was like, No, it's kind of like flying, like you're on your own. You know what I mean? Like there's no difference in being that deep. It's not like you're going to hold your breath to get to the top once something goes wrong, or if you calculated something wrong or whatever. It's like those scenarios where it's like, hey, it's humanly impossible to live through it kind of deals, right? Like
what about
wings come
bullfighting?
off your airplane or something like that.
Done it.
That you would do that?
I've done it.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty decent.
I'm actually pretty. I don't want to.
Ask Cody Webster, and Cody's like, Webster's like, get out of the way.
Oh, you've done it since.
I'm like, what are you talking?
lately?
Well, we went to go pin bulls one time. We were playing in Sykeston, Missouri, at the Sykeston Rodeo, and he's like, you want to go with me to go pin these fighting bulls? I was like, yeah. Tennis shoes, shorts, jump in there, and
That was like not that long ago.
that was like 5 years ago. And I start. He's like, I cannot be the guy that killed Cody Johnson before the show, and I was like, don't you worry about me, old son. I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? He's like, man, you're pretty handy, and I'm like, no big deal, but I could have been a bullfighter. You know?
Yeah.
No, they don't scare me.
Yeah.
Like stuff underwater that I can't see scares me. But yet, like, I would go to Africa and do like the dangerous game hunts.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me.
Yeah. So like I was joking around with Cowboy Cerrone about
He scares me.
fighting him.
That's not.
Well,
You did that?
no,
that's
we're
dumb.
supposed to.
Are you really going to do that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm down to,
Yeah.
but
I'm not doing that.
but I'm not necessarily scared of it. Now, me and him in a professional setting, like I'm not saying I'm gonna. Obviously, I know what would happen to me.
Brain damage.
Yeah, I think
Exactly,
So. You're not
like-
gonna like really
Yeah, no. I'm not saying that
talk
like
trash to him.
yeah, like a buddy. So like, because before I talked to him, like I was just making the jokes on the internet, and like a mutual friend was like, we were having dinner, and he was like, "You don't really." I was like, "Are you kidding me right now? Do you not get the joke?" I was like, "No, absolutely not. I don't really think I'm gonna." But as far as like getting in the ring with a
You won't even
professional,
say it. No, I don't think I'm going to.
Right.
Don't even say the words beat him up.
well,
I wouldn't.
yeah,
'Cause it's
yeah,
being
yeah. I
recorded.
don't even want to say it. Yeah, but yeah. As far as just like fighting and like, for instance, being knocked unconscious.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like that in and of itself doesn't necessarily scare me. Long-term damage, of course there will be, but like getting knocked out by a bull, fighting bulls, that doesn't necessarily scare me. Like
No.
it would suck, and it would be, I wouldn't sign up for it repeatedly, you
Right.
know. But I mean, I don't know, to get hit in the face once or twice, probably it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be terrible. But
I've never done
compared to a
podcast,
shark,
but I feel like that we have like touched literally every genre and subject.
So that's a common
in the
thread, though.
last-
It's a
that
common thread
happens.
for people to say that, like, man, we're bouncing around everywhere. Like Wes O'Neill said it on your podcast the other day. I did a podcast with a guy. He's like, man, we're going around everywhere. Like, aren't we supposed to stick to a topic or something? I was like,
That's what I'm
"No,
used
man."
to. Structured interview where we're like, okay, this is we're gonna go down. We're gonna talk about this. And that's what we're gonna talk about.
I think that's the reason
This
for
is just three guys
podcasts.
with a microphone.
It's
Yeah.
fun. It's
Especially-
enjoyable to do.
Yeah.
Well,
Next time I'm bringing like a 12-pack.
there's also people like yourself with a really interesting story. How ridiculous would it be for me to have an agenda of what you need to talk about?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you've lived a really interesting life.
Red
We,
Stego.
before the singing, we could do an awesome podcast about you before the career that put you on the map. Like just rodeo and, well, you don't like to talk about the prison stuff. But I'm just saying, had you done that, like you
Yeah,
Red
had
yeah.
a,
Stego
everybody
said,
has.
I've lived a lot of lives, Cody. He said, and by far, this is my favorite one.
That's
I
cool.
was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life.
that's pretty
Man, it
good.
almost
It's not that I
seems
don't
like that.
to talk about the prison thing. It's just.
Yeah,
it's
no,
just-
but like you
no,
said,
I get
like,
it.
like
I
you
get it.
said,
I'm
it
not-
was deeper than you
No,
thought
no,
it
I
was.
get
The
it. I
question.
get it.
Well, it was like,
I
you know,
didn't
like-
know that
Right.
was that kind of
like
question.
Brandy was like wanting me to watch that movie about like human trafficking, and I get all that stuff. Like, but like when it comes to kids, there's a certain type of offender that I spent a lot of time around.
Yeah, that sucks.
And man, that's like I
sure.
can't do that, man. I can't do that.
Yeah.
It,
Well-
it gets me.
No, and I'm glad you said that.
It's a
Like
dark
I didn't realize
place.
I was asking that kind of question. After you said that, I was like, well, of course it's prison. In my mind, I'm thinking like a Shawshank Redemption kind of story, you know, like something, you know, not necessarily rated
no.
R, you
Oh,
know,
no.
but
Like,
but
I
like a
have
real prison is
hilarious
probably terrible.
Hilarious stories, but they are rated very R.
But they've got a lot of blood and
Eh,
all kinds of
And
things.
things like that, things that you can't.
Yeah.
Man, it almost does. Like sometimes the different chapters of life almost do start seeming like different lives. You know,
They do,
especially
sure.
when they're all kind of themed the same because you were there the whole time. You know what I mean? that's kind of an interesting concept too. It's like your brain is the same thing over this long period of time.
Yeah,
you know?
dude.
Like, yeah, it changes.
When
and
we went to your house, it's crazy where your house was, because that's how I used to get back to the ranch when I would come to his house.
Really?
And when he told me, he was like, yeah, Cody's got a place outside of Madisonville. And I pictured it across from that damn ranch that you live across from, because I would drive by there, and I always liked that place. And I was like, that looks, in my mind, when he told me you live outside of Madisonville, I was like, I pictured that place on the left and right.
Mm-hmm.
And but driving down that road, there was a decade of my life I lived down here. Yeah. And
that's weird to think about.
Dude, it took me back going down some of them roads. It took me back.
Are we writing a song right now?
I think we are.
Like I'll go that way to go to Franklin and stuff like that. And sometimes I just think about turning on Walker Prairie Loop.
Yeah.
Just driving down there. But I'm like, man, there ain't nothing cool to see from the road. You know
Not
what
anymore.
I mean? It's not anymore. Yeah. You took all the cool stuff with you.
But I had to go back to the mesquite trees. That's where I came from. I was down here for 10 years. I liked it down here.
When we moved out there to Madisonville, Brandy said, have you noticed how much more beautiful the sunsets are here? I was like, no, they're not more beautiful. Is that you can see them.
Right.
You're not surrounded by
Yes,
100-foot pine trees.
Well, once you get to West Texas, that's all we have is sunsets. There ain't no
Where
damn
your
trees.
dog can run away and you can watch him do so for 3 weeks.
Yeah, we ain't got no kind of tree. I mean, I live in a spot where there are some trees, but like I'm on the edge of them, and there ain't no more headed west.
Your place is, it's not like canyon where it's just like,
Right.
where did that name come from?
The Panhandle.
Yeah,
Which is kind of where I grew up in Memphis. Yeah, on the edge of the Panhandle.
That's how I got to Memphis.
Yeah, man, we are writing a song. This whole podcast is a song. But it's good to get back here.
Song.
Yeah.
Your newest best song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cowboy scale 1 to 10 is, and I got rapid fire questions we can wrap up with. But yeah, tell me about the new album.
So the new album is called Leather.
24 songs.
Ian Munsick wrote that song. It's crazy. Ian Munsick was out on tour with me, and he wrote this song called Leather. And he's like, we're sitting in the bus just playing songs for each other, just hanging out. And the whole hook line is a cowboy's made of leather.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can bend him, but you can't break him. It takes years of work and hurt and dirt to make him. And when the whole world falls apart, he'll hold together. That's how you know a cowboy's made of leather. And I'm like, well, that's perfect. Like, I can do an entire album around that. It's the only cowboy song on the record because I'll get to that in a minute, but I've got a whole different cowboy project coming out, like just cowboy songs, just stuff like that. But 24 tracks. The new song, The Painter, goes for radio in August while I'm in Australia. It'll be going to radio to start getting kind of a momentum going. And we're hoping to have the first part of this deluxe album out by, like, November, December, right before Christmas. So though you'll get 13, 14 tracks up front, and then sometime later we're going to release some more. I've got collabs with Jelly Roll, Brooks and Dunn. Carrie Underwood makes an appearance. It's the best group of songs I've ever recorded.
Yeah.
Like, everybody was like, why did you do 24 tracks? Is it some kind of a gimmick or a scheme or like a plan, like a business model? And I'm like, no, it was just 24 of the best songs I'd ever heard. Yeah. So I had to record them.
Which song do you think that will be the hitter of all of them? Leather?
Man, define hitter.
So like just
radio? Because there's difference. Like
whatever one takes off, like, yeah, I know what you're saying, because like
Leather's going to be a great song on it because it's the title track. People are going to listen to it because the album's called Leather, and it's leather. That's why I chose that for the title track, is because I feel like it best personifies me and like the record. But radio's different. Radio is a different world. Like, it can be one of the best songs on the album, but radio might not play it as much as that song.
Uh-huh.
So I picked out 5 to go to radio over the course of, from now to the end of 2025, And there's some, the first single is The Painter. And I feel like if I were to write a song about my wife and the way I feel about her, like, that's it.
Yeah.
But it's tempo, it's upbeat, it feels good, it grows. Every verse, it just grows and it gets bigger and it gets bigger and it's bigger, and it has this movie soundtrack-esque type passion to it. And it's very organic. It's very country. It's just picking on a guitar, very stripped down. There's not a whole lot to it. It's not overproduced. And there's a song called Jesus Loves You that I told you about that, Hardy pitched me this song, and it's pretty dark. And there's that side of me. That's the closest I've come to channeling anything about prison.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's a good way to channel it, but I'm not really telling anything.
Yeah.
There are songs there's one called Dirt Cheap that's about a farmer that will not sell his land to become a subdivision because of all the memories that he has there. And it'll make you cry. There's so many different emotions and there's so many different things. We have a song called That's Texas that we're only going to release to Texas radio because it's just that dang cool. There's a bluegrass song that me and Jake Mears, my guitar player, and Jody Bartula, my fiddle player, we wrote a bluegrass song called Georgia Peaches about peach moonshine. And it's straight bluegrass, and we're going to release that to XM Bluegrass, and there's just all these different, it's crazy because
you don't have any fillers in there.
No.
Right.
The darkest, dirtiest song on the record is called Jesus Loves You. And the gospel song is called Make Me a Mop.
Yeah.
And it's totally this whole thing's kind of a mind bender of my fans are going to eat this up.
I love that you have a gospel song on every record.
Dude, this gospel song is called Make Me a Mop. It's basically use me for cleaning up messes.
Yeah.
Make me a bucket. Make me a shovel. Use me for something. It's make me a shovel, make me whatever, a handle on a cup you glue back together. If breaking a man really makes him better, then do what you got to do.
Yeah.
It's a really hard prayer. Be careful what you pray for.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. That's what I was just
Lord,
thinking.
I want you to break me down and make me better.
Yeah.
Boom, you lose your job. Boom, you're going through, you better be careful.
Yeah.
But it's there's those kind of songs. There's certain songs that I only recorded because they're going to be awesome live. There's one called People in the Back. It's about people in the back of the concert. It's only for live. It doesn't matter whether it's radio or whatever else, but I'm really excited about this record. And then as soon as it comes out, I'm going to go into the studio and do nothing but cowboy songs. There's 3 original songs, and the rest of them are all covers. My heroes have always been cowboys, My Rifle, My Pony, and Me. Tom T. Russell's Tonight We Ride.
Oh, that's cool.
You know what I mean?
Mamas Don't Let Your Cowboys Grow Up to Be.
We thought about that. After playing it live, I was like, well, we kind of have to put that on there now.
Right.
But I mean, I'm going to have, Randy Hauser was out on tour. He played me a song called Sad Clown about a rodeo clown. I was like, well, do it with me.
Yeah.
Trent Willman, The Rope and Pin. I was like, do that song with me.
That's cool.
I want to get all my buddies that have anybody that I like in the music business that we gel together. Let's all do some songs together. And it doesn't have to have a radio single on it. It'll just be a cowboy record.
That's cool though.
Stuff that people like us can haul up and down the road with and play. And hey, these songs are for people like me.
You bet.
Man, so Rick was, cowboy artist, and he's a sculptor, made bronzes, and some of his bronzes were, this will sell well, right? That mare and that colt, this will sell well. People will love this. He's got one of, 70-year-old man holding a buckle over his rigging bag with his stuff kind of pulled out of it, like he's going through his rigging bag from
That's cool.
50 years ago. When
it means a bunch to him.
I mean? And he said, I'll never sell one of these.
You bet.
I made it because I wanted to make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's
how we are.
You have those
if
ones.
you're a true artist and you have the confidence and the position to make what you want to make, it'll speak to people, and if it does, it'll be the right kind of people. And it's cool, It's
I don't consider myself an artist at all, especially not on your level, not even on Rick's level either. But that's how I feel about a lot of our videos. Sometimes we'll make one and I will laugh so hard, and I do not care how many views it gets.
Yeah.
and then sometimes we'll make one that we don't expect to do well at all, and it takes off. What have you had any of those songs?
I was just fixing to say there's one song on the record that I recorded. So Hardy, the artist, the country music artist Hardy, texts me and is like, hey, are you still cutting songs? And I was like, well, I'm always listening, send it to me. And it was called I Wished It Was You. And the hook line for this song is, it was late and I was drunk and I wished it was you. That is the basis of country music.
Yeah.
Sad, drinking, I cheated, I screwed up, I'm miserable. That's like as Merle Haggard and George Jones as it gets, right?
Yeah. Oh, he cheated. I thought you meant maybe he was remembering her, he wished it was his.
He's like, no, I took her home and it was late and I was drunk and I wished it was you.
So what makes
it. So so they send me the demo, right? The demo's happy. It's If I didn't do my best to mess it up before I've done it now. And I'm like, why is this so happy? This guy's miserable.
Yeah.
Like, this guy is absolutely miserable. He is a screw up and he's never going to change. And I was like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to record this as dark and as slow and as sad as we can possibly make it, because that's the way this guy feels.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, why? You know, the musicians loved it, but like several of my friends are like, dang, like why'd you cut that? I was like, because I wanted to.
There you go.
Because it was sad, and I just wanted to record a sad country song. Like,
Yeah.
And it'll probably be the one that people will be like, that's keeping real country music alive. And like, I just wanted to record a sad cheating song.
That's,
I'm not there in my life. I just wanted to be that guy for a minute.
Yeah.
So my brother, he and a buddy of his, John Stork, they wrote a song. It was about mine and Leroy's dad, and it's called "If I Don't Call."
Yeah,
and
I know it.
Whenever he sings it acoustic, the first time before he recorded it, I made like a YouTube version, like we recorded in Rodeo Blues, and then I put some rodeo clips to it that I had. I made kind of a half-assed music video for it, and I realized like afterwards that I had put like a lot of buck-offs, because the acoustic version, it's almost like, if I don't call, don't you worry. Like, I didn't want to call home. Like, no news is good news. I bucked off, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm on to the next one. And so, like, that's how I kind of made the music video. Well, then when Kyle Park helped him, put it out, they did it upbeat. And it was like, if I don't call, and it's almost like I'm winning.
Dear Rodeo was that way.
And that's what, just like Dear Rodeo.
Dear
you
Rodeo
talk
was
about that.
so slow and so sad. Like, so sad. And it was like, the more I played it, I was like, this is happy. Like, this should be happy. Like, you have to let it be what it wants to be.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, and I think it can be both, depending on how you sing it, right?
it can make you feel both.
Right.
Like, for instance, like that song, like, it was late and I was drunk and I wished it was you. For the musicians that got to play it, that don't ever get to play country music, because Nashville doesn't record a whole lot of country music anymore, when they heard the hook line, they were like, woohoo, yeah, baby.
Really?
Like, yeah, dude,
cool.
that's it, man.
Now we're
That's
playing
cool.
country music.
Yeah. And then I've played it for a few of my friends, and they're like, I don't like that.
How did Hardy feel?
Like, that makes me feel guilty. Like, I was that guy one time, you know, like, I don't like that song.
Well, that's how you should feel after you do something
The guy,
terrible, right?
So Hardy brings, the guy that one of the guys that was a writer on the song, Hardy brings in by the studio right after we'd recorded it, and I was like, listen to this, and I'd added some chord changes and like it made it really country, and he goes, dang, man, he said, you made my demo sound like Hey There Delilah. Is that good? Oh no, it's great, I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, sorry, but Hey There Delilah,
right.
like
I'm familiar. Yeah. I like that, dude. If you come in, for instance, even the weight room, like when I'm listening to like some dark stuff, like not.
Oh yeah,
it's Christian, but like Demon Hunter, for instance.
Oh no, I don't.
Like
I listen.
Blood
to
in the
like
Tears of All My Enemies. Like they're
Breaking
Christian, but
Benjamin.
it's like dark, and I don't know. And then I like some sad music when I'm going down the road.
Work out. Like, I'll work out to like some serious gangster rap.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I want to hear some explicit stuff when I'm listening.
Yeah.
Funny
I'm
is,
not-
like, if I'm by myself driving on the road,
You should try Demon Hunter.
it's loud.
You should
rap.
try Demon Hunter. Like whenever I hear that those SEALs were like, when they were interrogating some of like ISIS guys over there, they would play like Metallica real loud just to like, while they weren't interrogating them, just to mess with them. But Metallica didn't like it. They were like, stop using our music. They heard like through social media. And so Demon Hunter sent them a bunch of albums, and they even made the Demon
Christian
Hunter
rock music, but they're
Dude,
torturing ISIS.
you
with
wouldn't
it. That is
probably you
like,
probably wouldn't
America.
necessarily know. Yeah, that's America. That's what
that's
I'm saying.
America.
And there's a picture of Rob O'Neill. He's got
Scare
that was
the
like
Jesus
there's
out of you.
the Demon Hunter emblem on his kit. And but you should. I'll send you
That's
some
cool.
of the songs. It's badass. But the Christian music is badass.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there you
Forgive
go.
me, Lord. Yeah.
You know these rapid
Gotta
fires?
be me. Yeah.
What are your-
yeah.
these okay. So these always scare me.
They came from the audience. So don't
Okay,
even
these scare
worry.
me even more. I have people that are like, "Hey, we have 10 questions, and they're going to be a little offbeat." I'm like, great. And rapid fire really scares me because sometimes I'll just say something. I'm like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. These might be slightly rapid fire.
What's your favorite meal before a concert?
I usually don't eat.
Okay.
I had coffee, like whatever they had at catering.
Caffeine.
Like if I go on stage at 10, I try to eat dinner by like 6:30 or 7 and get like substantial food. That way, like I'm not feeling like sick on a hot day. You know, you got to have food in your system. But like I try to drink coffee like an hour before I go on.
What brand of guitar do you use?
I don't care as long as it sounds good.
Attaboy.
It's kind of like a horse. Like I don't care what kind of horse it is. If it works, it works. But Martin, Gibson, I've got some handmade guitars that if I told you the name brand, you would never even recognize it.
I don't even recognize Martin or Gibson. What's a good song that you like to hear on the radio you might turn up that's not COJO?
I was going to plug my single. I like anything that sounds like traditional country music when I'm listening to the radio.
Yeah.
Like I will flip through stations, and if I hear the hip hop country stuff, like not trying to bash anybody, but I'll turn it off.
Yeah.
Like it's not what I wanted to hear.
Right.
So,
but when he's grilling, he can sing a whole Snoop Dogg song without looking at the lyrics.
I
So
can do
if you
that.
bring those '90s lyrics back up from Snoop Dogg, he's got you.
I do love some Snoop D-O-double-G.
Who is your rodeo hero and why is it Dale Brisby?
Because I know where you came from, man. Came from nothing, just like me, man. Just like me, baby.
And the same day, too.
Yeah.
Same day. Nothing going on that day.
I don't know, rodeo hero, man. I'm not gonna say this just because he's one of my best buddies, but like I do have a ton of respect for Colby Lovell.
Yeah.
For all the
He's
try,
a cowboy.
all those years,
That's a
man,
cowboy.
all those NFR appearances. He's won everything you can win, and he kept going until he got his gold buckle. And he knew, and I got it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say, well, now I need another one. I got it. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna sit back, and he's still enjoying life, ranching and raising, roping horses and training. And I don't know, like he did it all, and he's like, I'm not gonna quit till I get one.
Yeah.
And then he got it, and he went, all right. See y'all later.
There's a lot of guys out there that you're like, man, you're a rodeo cowboy, but are you also a cowboy?
Yeah.
And with Colby Lovell, you ain't got to wonder that.
No.
Like
That's this fool. He goes, I said something about working cows at my house yesterday. He's like, oh, you were working your cows? I was like, yeah. He goes, I thought you'd be down there with Colby or something. I'm like, I have cows, Dale. I'm a cowboy.
I'm
Like,
sorry. When you're not at a concert, I picture you horseback with Colby somewhere. I'm not sure why.
No, it was me and Carson busting our butt on our own herd.
I got out of the truck and I see him come across the driveway, like past the barn, coming kind of towards the bus barn over
See
there.
him all hot branded.
Yeah, I can still hear y'all over there, and I see him come through, and I was like, yeah, good on him. Went right back inside.
Yeah.
I didn't even
I'm
come
not
talk to
saying
y'all.
it's not like you're not allowed to cowboy outside of what you do with Colby, but like
It's good, man. I don't take
when
any
I
offense,
don't
that's
know
fine.
the details, I just imagine you're just hanging out with Colby Lovell all the time.
Me and Carson have gone down there and done some hog team roping in the river bottom. That's pretty fun.
Even a while ago when you brought up the hog thing, I was like, you and Colby. See what I'm saying?
No, it wasn't. All right, go ahead.
But finish this sentence. Mamas don't let your.
You really?
Yeah, we already.
Cowboys grow up to be babies?
Yeah.
Is that
These are
what you-
from the audience.
Wow.
So I'm
By the way, everybody gave me credit for that. That was
I loved
Waylon
it.
Jennings in 1976.
right.
Yeah, like that was Waylon. That was not COJO.
Kudos to you for clarifying. You and what good-looking bull riding legend share the same birthday?
We already went over all the answers as a
Dale
problem.
I know.
Brisby.
These if you had to fight someone an event at a rodeo, you have to pick an event of someone to fight. Which event would you pick last?
What?
Mine
Explain
is
that.
bareback riding. Bareback riders are going to be
wait.
the last people on the list that I choose to fight.
Oh, like that type of person.
Yeah.
Would not be barrel racers because I feel like they could probably stomp you, and then that would be horrible.
Yeah. Mine's bareback riding. You can choose mine too.
No, steer wrestlers.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
think there's a requirement. You have to be at least 6'4" to be a steer wrestler.
Why do you think Cowboy Scale of 1 to 10 has been your greatest song? Dude, these are from the audience.
Because Ned Ledoux was on it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Red Steagle. You used to ride bulls, but recently started team roping. Has your wife always worn the pants in the relationship, or is that recent? That I don't know where that came from. Who wrote that?
Wow.
We'll just skip that.
Yeah, skip that. Pass.
You're in the team roping box. You're backed up. You're about to nod, and your mascara starts running. What do you do? Oh my gosh, another team roping.
You just
joke.
let it go. You rope anyway. You're the one. I mean, you rope anyway.
And that's the end of them.
And your mascara starts running. I tell you what, dude. I've broken more things on my body.
I was okay with that joke just because.
I've broken more fingernails roping than I ever did when I was riding bulls.
You wait till I do the podcast with Trevor and you hear his rapid fire questions.
Oh, you need to get me on that one.
I have had those questions for years. I can't wait.
You're gonna have to wind up making me like a half the time co-host on these.
Yeah, I'm sure you could get a spot.
Well, because like today,
whose name would go
it's mostly
first?
about me. I would love to sit back and think and be like, how can I screw this entire conversation up? How can I get him?
Whose name would go first? Would it be the COJO Dale Brisby show, or would it be the Dale Brisby?
I'll
COJO?
take a featuring
it really depends on that
with special guests.
That paperwork that Howie's going to send you.
That's what I was going to name it.
Yes.
So that
you'll get the contract. Don't worry.
Yeah, it depends on the guarantee.
My original name, my original name for the show was Rodeo's Finest and Guest.
That's good. I like that.
That's what I was going to call it, but I just didn't know who would maybe get the joke or not.
You need to have Luke Branquino on here.
I was on his.
He's a funny sucker, dude.
Yeah. My goal is I want to do a lot of podcasts. There's just so many stories out there. I got to do Boots and Wes O'Neill, the brothers.
That's cool.
Boots, it's 90 years old, still ranching, but capturing some of those stories and just a little bit of the stuff that may not have gone into the documentary.
Yeah. Well, to me, there's got to be a part 2.
Yeah.
So in the Deer Rodeo documentary, at the very end, I say, and I forgot I said it. I say, if tomorrow I wake up and they say, that's it, you're done, you got to go home to your wife and kids, I'd do it with a smile.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 2020 happened after that, and they canceled all my shows, and I did not smile very much. I was so pissed off, and I was so angry. And 2020 was such a life-searching year, but then 2021 comes around. Crazy. 2022, even crazier. 2023, even crazier. And I was like, at some point, we have to go, hey, documentary's great, but this is what's happened since then. There is just, it has been boom, 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 go, 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 success, 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 fight, 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 fight for it. And it's like, eventually we have to do a part 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can tell my story all I want, but it's different when it's visual and you can see it and you're like, oh, that happened and that happened.
I love what Brandy said in there. I hope I don't butcher it, but it was something along the lines of the dream.
Just because the dream doesn't come true doesn't mean that a dream won't
come true.
Yeah.
It's
pretty profound.
That's awesome that you have such a powerhouse of just a pistol of a wife that is
pistol backfires sometimes.
Kicks a little bit.
Y'all made the most perfect little girls.
Oh, I know.
Clara is so sharp, so smart, and articulate.
That backfires on me too.
No, I bet.
You're trying to talk to a 6-year-old and she starts getting smart like she's 16, and I'm like, what? Stop! No.
She is smart.
I know, and it makes me angry. I'm like,
is she still dude? Is she still right here with you, or is Dad not cool?
Oh no.
When does that
she
happen?
was like, I walked in and I had my cowboy hat on, and both of them, whoa, where you going?
They wanted you there.
I'm going to Huntsville. Well, can we go?
That's awesome.
Well, why can't we go? I'm going to drop a truck off. The ranch truck's acting up. I'm going to drop the truck off to get worked on. I got to get my cell phone fixed. I'm going to do a podcast with Jeremy and Dale. And why can't we go?
Still not hearing a reason,
Sounds
Dad.
like a good day.
Yeah, we could go eat at this Mexican food restaurant on the way out of town. Like, they're planning the day.
Yeah, right.
I was like, girls, I will be back home. Well, when do you leave again? Tomorrow? Just got this look, and I'm like, God dang, girls, yes, they love me, and I love them too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I kind of got after them yesterday when we were working cows. I felt bad a little bit, but then I didn't.
Cows.
I just both of them had to wear these cowboy hats. They don't fit, but we're going to be cowboys. We're going to wear our cowboy hats. About the second time Carson got off his horse to hand him one of their hats because we're going across the pasture and the wind just blows it off. And I'm riding a horse that if your hat blows past him, it's gonna be an issue.
Those are the best kind.
Yeah, well, that's what they say.
Otherwise, it gets boring.
People say that to make up for like.
Do you need a loan to get you a horse that won't do that?
This is a
hats if it.
Well, I rode over and I felt like John Wayne or Gus McCrae or something. No, probably like Woodrow Call. Hey, they both look at me and I said, "That's the last hat we're getting off a horse to pick up. You understand me?"
And then they,
yes, sir. And I'm like, I ain't picking up no more hats. I'm like, then I rode off and I'm like, God, I'm a butthole.
That sounds like my dad.
I didn't even want to say that, but my dad said crap like that to me, so I had to. And
my dad was like, get your elbows down. Or like, get up here. Like I'd be like trailing back. Like I remember those same things. That's where it came from when I was talking about the super puncher. Like I talk about like, get them elbows up. Because I can, in my head, I can hear my dad. Because I'll be trotting across the pasture. 7 years old. Like, it's like, get your elbows down. You got to yell at them like that. That's part of it. Well, we usually wrap these up with life advice.
Oh, you want me to give life advice?
Yeah, we each do, but yours is going to be better than ours. So,
y'all didn't bring anything prepared to say?
Oh yeah, we're completely prepared.
Yeah.
It's only you that didn't know it. You don't listen to podcasts.
Somebody else go first.
I don't know. You're the special guest.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple. Always give 100% unless you're donating blood. That's my go-to.
I'm taking that one too.
That's my go-to.
I'm gonna keep that dad joke.
I like recently. I did read you won't have more faith than you have humility. So I just think in people's walk here lately, I have completely underestimated my entire life how big of a deal pride is as a sin and humility is as a virtue to be chased after. So that would be my life advice, that when chasing holiness, you have to chase humility. The closer you get to God is almost the only way. Because then you realize how much we pale in comparison. Because if you start patting yourself on the back, then you're proud of being humble.
Yeah.
So you have to, anyway.
It's always there and masked.
Matthew 23:12 is all I got.
Like to that, like Brandy's told me before though. She's like, you should take a few moments to be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, you just always, it's not good enough. I could be better at this. I could be better. She's like, take time. Like even if it's by yourself, take your time to go, I've accomplished a lot and I'm proud of that. She's like, don't be prideful.
Yeah.
Appreciate what you've done.
Take time to be proud of yourself a little bit.
I think
that's important to like what you're saying. If somebody's listening to it, there's a difference. There's a big difference between being prideful and being proud of yourself.
Yeah, I think she's using it in a much different context. Because somebody can be deflated and they think that everything they do is trash, and you think that this concert sucked. And like there's an other side of the coin to that. Like, no. This was a great show you put on tonight, and it's okay that you look back at your performance and because you've got to put on a good show to get paid at the next one. So like, did we do a good job? That was a good job.
Well, that kind of leads me into what I was going to say. Is I think that what has worked for me in my life is surround yourself with people that you want to be like. Because like I admire my wife. Oh my God, sometimes she pisses me off so bad at the stuff she does, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like. But I wouldn't trade her for the world. Like I love her, and I admire her. I look up to her, I respect her, and her being able to tell me that, or like you place friends around you where you pick up the phone and you call your buddy and say, oh my God, she's driving me nuts. I'm so angry. I want to say this. I want to do this. And your buddy says, hey, you might feel that way, but that's not right.
Yeah.
Like,
instead of the buddy that says,
screw her.
Let's go do this.
You got to have a buddy that says, hey man, you can be mad all you want, but like you can't say or do those things. Like, stay with her and keep working. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean too. And also like the guys that I surround myself with, like when I get frustrated roping, it's, hey man, I don't want to hear it. Like keep digging, keep going. The men that I surround myself with out on the road that take they value what we do for the art that it is. Like that means a lot to me. It's not just a paycheck. It's like we value what we're doing. Gary LeFew told me one time, I asked him, I said, can you give me some advice? Just give me some Gary LeFew wisdom. And he sits there for a minute and he says, remain in a constant state of positive expectancy. Remain in a constant state of positive expectancy and place men around you that you want to be like.
You told me that night 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember that like it was yesterday.
All the time.
You told me that 10 years ago, and I remember that. And
I have found that people that have come into my life that aren't people that I need to be around, it's like if you truly trust the wisdom and you trust God to put those people in your life or take them out, like they fall off the boat pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like and you're like, I didn't even realize that like that person was in my life for a year and they gone. Like they just gone.
Right.
And it's like, how did they even get gone? Like they weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Then you think about new friends, and the new friends been around 10 years, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
You're
dang.
Dang, that's why Dale Brisby is not only my best friend, but my hero.
Absolutely.
Does that inspire you for your wisdom?
And I'm the most humble.
And I'm the most humble.
What do you got, Jeremy?
Man, I'm gonna rewind to the beginning when you outlined to bring influence from others, but don't try to make their thing your thing. And I think there's a lot to unpack in that, because even if it did work, which it doesn't, right?
Right.
So if it doesn't, everybody's gonna see. I mean, it doesn't work. Everybody's gonna see through it, all of that. But even if it did work, it won't work for you long term. It won't work to make you feel better, or you be okay with it, because it was never your thing. So even the worst thing that could happen was you find a lot of success trying to be somebody else that you've got to try to continue to be, instead of ever getting a break to go back to be you and what you brought to the table. You've always got to pretend to be somebody else, even if it were to work, which it doesn't work. So I think that when you kind of outlined, make it your own. Make sure you make it your own. It's important for you for every part of it.
Got to be me.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
In a Texas kind of way.
Yeah.
Me. Ain't nothing on you. I'm trying to think of all wild as you. Cool. Well, check out Cody Johnson's next album. When does that come out?
November or December. We're not really sure.
Yeah,
but
this fall.
This fall.
Yeah, coming out this fall.
Possibly this winter.
Please check out Dear Rodeo. I know that it's on. I watched it on YouTube.
YouTube, Amazon Prime, Apple.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And COJO.com, CodyJohnson.com. Is that what it is?
I think we have all of them now.
You got them all. Yeah. When you get to that level,
You
you
can
got to
misspell
get them all.
them.
Yeah.
It all goes.
Because I got Rodeo.
You type in CO and it'll fill in the blank for you.
There you go.
It's just because you Google yourself a lot. That doesn't work for it.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I want to make sure there's nothing bad out there. I'll Google the top articles. I'll be like, I'm still good. Okay.
I'm okay. All right.
I've only got two. I got rodeotime.com and dalebrisby.com.
Those are two really good ones.
They're good. Yeah, that's where you guys should go. Cody Johnson or rodeotime.com. And then if you're in the Huntsville area and outer rings of that, Turnkey Metal Buildings can build you a house.
Oh, yeah. Turnkey Custom Homes. Built by Turnkey.com.
Builtbyturnkey.com.
Yeah.
And you're kind of rewriting the home building thing. Like it's a custom deal, but like you're paying for more than just a freaking 4 walls and a roof. So
We're trying to.
very honest.
I'm a pretty good spokesperson.
Yeah, Cody is using him. Cody uses him for everything.
Yeah.
But honesty, like
no, I'm not
just-
joking.
this dude has access to my bank accounts here. Like he could clean me out if he took all my money. And Lisa's the same way in Graham. It's Lisa and Jeremy Ray Melanson. They could literally take all my money. And the banker called me and she was like, "This doesn't look like your signature." I was like, "No, that's Lisa's. She just signed it. It's okay." But like Jeremy and Lisa could take all my money. And if you did, I would be like, okay, if it happened with them, there was literally no one else on the earth I could have happened with. So like, but like that's the level of honesty you have here and at the grounds. So if you need a place to stay in Huntsville, come stay at the grounds. So horse friendly, got all the things.
Cowboy living.
If you're going to school at Sam Houston, or if you just want a place to live in Huntsville, go to the grounds. We're on to the next one. Thank you so much for listening and watching. 940-353-0890. Pow, pow.